the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com, because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of health care, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Attention business owners, do you need zero money down financing on new or used equipment? Meet Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, your gateway to equipment financing that breaks the mold. JR Capital offers zero money down financing options on both new and used equipment, vehicles, heavy machinery, and more. It's a game changer, giving you the power to enhance your operations without slowing you down or denting your cash flow. Need a boost in working capital or a flexible line of credit? Dylan can help your business get the cash flow it needs fast. The process is a breeze too, with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. Call Dylan Cohen at JR Capital today at 602-834-7353 or click on Finance with Dylan at moneyradio.com. Call Dylan Cohen 602-834-7353 and get the money you need for your business today.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So yesterday we lost 4-2 to the Texas Rangers. Arizona Diamondbacks go down, and then they go down again today, 6-1. Well, okay. That's where we are now, I guess. So go Diamondbacks. That's great.
No. Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry. No. Not gonna
We're
worry.
in May. We're in May.
I know. I just don't. Like yesterday we talked, and when we went off air, I think we were up on the Rangers, and it feels pretty nice. And today, first we're winning, and now we've lost 2 in a row. So no, it's fine. Everything's good. I'm the dog sitting there at a table with a cup of coffee and everything's on fire. And I'm just like, no, it's fine. This is good. This is fine.
You're the dog with a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
You've never seen that meme? It's
a cartoon.
No.
Little dog sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, this is fine. This is great." And the place is on fire. That's what it feels like. But okay, that's fine. Just not even going to get into it. Not going to get into it. I'm going to get into something else. Now, we all agree Angel Hernandez, a horrible, horrible umpire. Just he's god-awful umpire.
He's retired now.
Just one the worst. When you retire and they have a reel of your 10 worst calls, and there were a lot more than 10, that tells you something about how bad of an umpire he was.
He's gone now.
And somebody else decided to defend him. They stepped up and says, "Hey, listen, you guys talk a lot about Angel Hernandez. Well, let me tell you something. I think you gave him a raw deal. He was good. He was a good umpire, and whether you want to believe it or not, he was good." That was Joe West.
I don't know if that's the endorsement you want necessarily.
Not really. No. The only person stepping up for Angel Hernandez is Country Joe West.
So at May 9th, his last game, he has not called a game since May 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's your point?
He's done.
Yeah.
He's retired. He's not in there any longer.
So who's next? Who's the next? Who's next up?
I don't know. There's so many umpires out there. I just wish that they would bring the automated balls and strikes into play, and we'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's not going to be next year.
Not going to be next year. It's going to be the year after, probably, or more. Yeah.
They came out and said, "Well, we're going to do it, but not this next season. It'll be the season after." Oh, okay, why wait? But all right, no, you're right. You're right, Rob Manfred. Everything is fine.
Well, I mean, Rob's drunk 9/10 of the time, so
he was drunk as much as Angel Hernandez was wrong. That's how alcoholic Rob Manfred is. Anyway, so and then last night, the Timberwolves beat the Mavericks, as you all know, and it's just so funny. What did I say on air yesterday, Keon, about what was going to happen last night? What did I say?
Well, we didn't think they were going to get swept.
No, I said they'll probably win tonight. Maybe even the next one, but they aren't going to be able to come back and beat the Mavericks. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Now, Donnie, of course, goes on Twitter. So it's like, well, what are you going to say now? And so, of course, my response was, measured. And, I told him exactly, exactly what he needed to hear. And I don't know if he'll understand it, though. That's the thing. I don't know if he'll understand.
You don't think Donnie will understand?
No, because it's words that might be bigger than he's used to. Well, what I said was, hey, this is exactly what I predicted on air. You might want to take a look at reversing your cranial rectal inversion. What that means is he had his head up his ass. So, I never heard back. So he probably is asking people the hell it means. Not likely anyone he knows can tell him. So, that's fine. But no, but we didn't think it was going to go, quietly. We didn't think the Timberwolves were just going to get completely steamrolled.
What was the, I'm sorry, what was the score again?
105-100. It was really close.
They were close. All the games were close. So, if you think, okay, they got a bunch of games that could have gone either way. Then,
the Mavericks have been able to close it out every time, except for last night. And that was that was really the difference. I mean, I heard, is this right? There was 30 turnovers. 30 turnovers. And still, by the Timberwolves. And still, the Mavericks couldn't get it done.
30 would be some kind of record. I don't know. Let me check here, but I don't think.
I thought I heard somebody, maybe it was an exaggeration. Maybe
Was it that Mike guy that goes bang all the time?
I don't know.
Was it him?
I don't know
Mike
who that
Breen.
is.
Bang!
Who goes bang? I don't know.
Mike
That
Breen.
Mike guy.
Mike Breen.
No,
Bang!
he wasn't on the call last night. It was a Van Gundy. And of course, Stan Van Gundy, I'll tell you what, I love that he was just hackling on the referees as they were looking at videos. They're like, oh my God, that's taking a lot of time for nothing. And he was making comments and stuff. And I was reading, I was like, that's what got his brother fired back in the day. So
Stan?
Jeff.
Jeff. Oh.
He got fired for that. And so now
Oh, yeah.
Stan Van Gundy, he just can't take it anymore. And he's saying stuff. But I don't think TNT will fire him. It was ESPN that fired the other brother.
Yeah.
But,
it was
Bang!
14 turnovers for the Timberwolves. 13 for the Mavs. So,
all right, so nearly 30.
Nearly 30 between the two of them, but not any one. Because that would be a record if you had 30 turnovers.
I don't know who the hell was saying that then.
So who had all the turnovers?
Nobody. It was even. I don't know what I heard. But what's important here is there's going to be another game, which means TNT is going to exist as inside the NBA for at least one more night. They're not doing the finals, right?
No, it's on ABC this year.
As soon as this is over, it's over for those guys.
That's too bad.
Well, they've got another season after this.
No, I know.
Too
I mean,
bad,
I'm just saying for the season.
For the season, that's it.
Ah.
That's it.
So, it was a good game. It was a good game. Donnie is on the text line. If we have time, I'll read his text. But BBL Drizzy says, "Hi, Joey here. You don't have to tell us that every time, BBL Drizzy." He says, "Will Randy stick around for the whole show today, or will his internet cut out again?" That really just depends. You got to be careful. One wrong move, one wrong word, and suddenly Randy thinks he has the day off. So let's not poke that bear. Bear Claw says, "Hey, asking Randy how exciting the Formula One race was." What? Did you go to
It was
Formula
good.
One?
It was a good Formula One race. You'll notice that Max Verstappen did not win, so it was a good race. Yeah.
How was your day of races?
Wonderful. No, it was great, except that there was a long rain delay in Indianapolis, and then the Coke 600 got cut short, and Christopher Bell won that because the weather came in after the halfway point of the race at Charlotte. So it was, not my favorite day, my not my best day, but
it was supposed to be a great day, but
it's supposed to be a great day. Yeah,
didn't turn into the great day. Huh?
No.
Sun Devil Raul says, hey, someday a team will come back from an 0-3 series. Why not? It be the Wolves. Could be. Might be. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not
already
likely.
happened. It's already happened. Red Sox came back.
Well, no, this is in the NBA. 154 times this has happened, and 0 times have they come back.
Well, the Red Sox came back, but that's baseball.
That's baseball. That's different. Yeah. Thunder Snow says, "Who am I trying to kid? Just pour him some Fireball over there. Is that for Randy?" He says, "No, Randy, pour Donnie the highest proof you got." That's what. Oh, I see. You're right. Chick whiskey is probably better. Yeah.
There you go.
He says, "I'm trying to show some compassion over here."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got you.
Oily Stool says, "Why does Randy continue to blast the Skol Viking horn? Does Randy realize the Vikings are the NFL team and the Timberwolves are the NBA team?" Well, what is he supposed to blow? Okay, let me rephrase that. What sound is he supposed to make?
Minnesota.
Just saying. We're just using it as a general Minnesota sound.
For Donnie. Yeah.
Do the Timberwolves have a sound?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Right there. Yeah.
Well, because none of us is howling for him, so that's as good as he's going to get.
Not happening. Not happening.
Yeah.
He'll take the horn and like it.
I think Donnie knows what that is. Yeah.
Fifth letter says, "Hey, Suns blew a 3-1 lead. Anything can happen." Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Did you have to bring that up?
It's not the same.
Was that a 3-1?
Do you have to bring that up?
I don't think
he's talking about. No, he's talking about further back.
Okay.
Donnie says it's supposed to be a howl. Play that one. I like that one. That's
I
right. That's the
don't
noise
have
the
any-
truck makes before it hits the wolf on the road.
Don't have any howls. So Donnie, there you go. Or this. There it is.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's like a howl.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
goat. It's not
Yeah.
a wolf, but it's the same sound if you ask a lot of people.
Swept. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sun Devil Raul says, "Wow, Randy, you went to the biggest one-day sporting event in the world. Way cool, bro. Was that yesterday or the day before?
What?
When did that happen? When was that F1 race?
It was on Sunday. Monaco. It was sweet. It was sweet.
Did it get delayed for any reason?
No, Ferrari won the Monaco Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen, because he did not qualify up towards the front, he lost, and Ferrari won. James Leclerc, the Frenchman,
The French
He won.
Captain Kirk.
Oh yeah, he won.
That's cool.
I'm surprised we haven't heard from Pierre. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
he
sure
didn't.
we
He didn't
will.
mention it yesterday.
I'm surprised.
Fifth letter says, Randy, I had to get that one in. My bad. You guys hear about Bronny and LeBron being the Suns next year? Yeah, I remember seeing that pop up on the Twitter, and I remember Keon losing his ever-loving mind over it.
Doesn't make
It's
any
not gonna
sense.
happen.
Doesn't make
Come
any
on.
sense.
There's no financial way that can happen. And you're all the wanting, the hoping, the praying. It's just, why would you
That's-
want that? Nobody
will
wants
say-
that.
I will say,
Oh, that's
Bronny
right.
worked.
Fifth letter's a Laker fan.
Bronny worked out for the Suns.
Yeah,
I
but
will tell you that.
but it was Suns fans that were saying, "Oh, this is a great idea," and I was just like, "What are you
No.
talking about?"
Come on.
You'll have one unproven Bronny who I think has potential, but he can't help you this year. And then how do you expect that to be LeBron James coming over here? Because the Suns can only offer veteran minimum contracts. And I promise you that LeBron James, at any point in his career, will never play
Not even
for
for,
a
Bronny?
veteran minimum. No,
Well, I mean,
absolutely not. No,
LeBron's made all the money in the NBA. Come on.
he doesn't. LeBron
He
likes
might
money.
play for the
Not for
veteran
a
minimum.
veteran minimum. No,
To play with his son on the Suns.
no,
Not now
No.
that he's not very good.
no.
Maybe if he'd been really good, he
I don't-
might have.
I
But
don't
then he
even-
would just have done it in a Laker uniform.
and there's still no guarantee that would happen.
So do you think he's going to be on the Lakers if his son is on the Suns?
I think it's likely he's most
No.
likely going back to LA.
Nah.
I think he's most likely going back to LA.
So is Bronny going to LA then?
I don't think so, and B, I think that would be very
Bronny's
dumb.
got to
if-
go to
if-
the East Conference, right? He's got to go to the Eastern Conference.
I don't
right?
I don't know what
Maybe
conference he would
Cleveland.
go to, but I
Maybe
think that
Cleveland.
if you there are a few teams in the
Maybe
the Eastern
Bronny to
Conference that's got a
Cleveland.
second round. They've got multiple
Just
second round
saying.
picks. I would take one of
Maybe.
those.
Maybe Bronny goes to Minnesota.
Maybe they had an argument and they don't want to play together anymore.
Well,
no, I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
I just think that LeBron wants to have as many cracks at a championship as he can, and you're not going
Nah.
to box yourself into playing
I think
with
Bron.
your
I
son
think
at the cost of that.
I think Bron. That's LeBron. That's what they call him.
No, they
I'm
don't
on
call
the
him
inside.
Bron. They call him
No,
Bronny.
they call him Bron.
Maybe a few years ago.
No,
Like
if you
early-
guys knew him like I do,
Oh,
Bron,
okay.
Bron, Super Bron,
Bron.
Bron.
My
That's
bad.
it. Bron. You know, if you guys knew him, Bron, he might go to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and maybe Bronny goes there as well. I'm just saying.
Bronny's never known
What?
Cleveland. Bronny grew up in L.A.
He's
Maybe
not
I
gonna
don't
go to the
I don't
stank of
think
Cleveland.
Cleveland
come
might be good enough for the old
Maybe
man.
they
I don't
both-
know.
Maybe
I don't
they
know.
both go to Minnesota.
So take a moment. Let's take a moment though, and think about. You seem to have a pretty good handle, Keon, on the pluses of Bronny James, right?
Yeah.
You seem to have a handle on the pluses of Bronny James. So where in the NBA, what team specifically needs his
Golden
talents?
State. Golden State.
But he
I-
can't shoot for bleep. So where Does Bronny belong?
Yeah, but Golden State needs future.
Bronny
Bronny belongs on a team that doesn't need to win right this second. Like,
Timberwolves.
if you're rebuilding,
That's it.
the Timberwolves would like to win right this second because they're already in a position to win right now.
They get Bronny. They're champions, right?
I
come on.
I don't think so. No, I think that Bronny needs to become a better shooter. But people become better shooters. That actually happens. You practice, then you get better at shooting. So, like, the fact that he can't, it happens all the time.
No, I know, but there's no guarantee he will.
I mean, yeah, but I'm going to take the fact that the guy works hard, and like that's what everybody says about him. Every coach on the coaching staff at USC and every scout is that he's a hard worker.
I ain't trying to give you a hard time here, but
like,
he's been working on this his entire life, and his dad is LeBron James.
All we know is that Bronny had a bad season after having a heart attack. So I do think
way better seasons as a shooter and as a scorer
in high school, but like that's but that's the thing is we only got 1 year of college, so we don't know. And that's why I'm not trying to put him in the garbage bin of can't ever shoot. That's the reason why scouts, when they look at guys who shoot, they look at the shooting form of the guy and go, is that something that you can actually fix? If you get somebody with a good shooting coach, you can.
If you can fix it.
And I just think if he's a hard worker and he gets it, and they put him with a good shooting coach, he will be able to shoot the basketball.
Who is a good shooting coach that Bronny could end up with?
There's a few of them in the league. I know the Spurs have a couple of great shooting coaches.
Spurs.
Yeah, the Timberwolves actually have a great shooting coach. Miami's got a bunch of them. Boston has a few. Houston has a couple. Like there are guys across the
Why not
league
Bronny to the Phoenix Suns?
Why
Bronny? Bronny's going to be a project. He's not going to be able to help you right away.
What?
And if your
Ishmael
goal is to win,
have the patience for that.
He doesn't. Like, I know he doesn't. So, like, if you think that Bronny's going to be,
why do you keep playing Thunder for Bronny?
Well, I mean, it's bad luck.
Bronny?
Yeah.
You think Bronny is bad luck?
Bad luck.
I disagree. Personally,
well, bad luck.
All right.
If he comes to the Suns, guess what?
You have to be able to kind of look at players because, like, that's what a lot of being a GM is not looking what the guy is right now and saying this is all he will ever be. You also need to look at what his abilities can become with the proper coaching. Otherwise, why draft anybody? Like, a lot of guys get into the NBA and can't shoot. I mean, it's just Giannis couldn't dribble when he got into the league.
Are you saying
and if the Bucks had decided, well, Giannis can't dribble, so we're not going to draft him, you wouldn't have Giannis. So, like, that's you have to do some projecting. That's just part of it. So
wait till we get the bill for the sound effects. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to take a break. When we come back, a lot of you have a lot to say on the text line, and we'll keep it going. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
With the loss of Atlanta's Ronald Acuna Jr. for the rest of the season with the torn ACL, Dodgers outfielder Mookie Betts has vaulted to the top spot in the betting odds to win the National League MVP. Betts is at plus 125. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers is plus 480. William Contreras of the Milwaukee Brewers plus 850. Bryce Harper of the Phillies also plus 850. In the American League, Yankees Juan Soto, the betting favorite to take home the MVP, plus 260. His teammate Aaron Judge plus 330. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmonSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmonSolar.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
It doesn't get much better than having a job you love working with people you love, children. And when you become a certified childcare provider, you can spend your days surrounded by your favorite people. Enjoy a fulfilling career caring for up to 4 children in your home. You'll get to run your own business, support children's development, provide parents with peace of mind, and make a difference in your community. Get certified to become a childcare provider at childcare.azccrr.com. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So we were just talking a little Bronny James fantasy, I guess. And let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. CK says, Randy, you call the douche bonbon. That sounds sus. He says, Keon, I know this will break your heart, but Bronny's ceiling isn't a terrible one. If he's lucky, he'll be like Gary Payton II.
I don't think that he's got a low ceiling. I think that first off, if you're Gary Payton II, you're a solid NBA starter. You'll start anywhere in the league. You play great defense and you knock down threes. I would take that. I think he's a second rounder.
But I was confused by CK's text, to be honest.
But
I'm a little confused by it.
I think he's just saying that that's the caliber of player that Bronny can be, and I agree.
Yeah, I'm the one who thinks he's probably his ceiling is about lower, maybe 10 points a game if he's lucky.
But that's a good role player.
That's a good role.
That's a starter.
I don't call LeBron
10 points a game.
Bon.
Yes,
I call him Braun.
If you have a big three, for instance, and like your top guy is scoring around 30, 35 a game, next guy scoring maybe 25, 30, and the other guy scoring in the 20s. Yeah, you only need your role player to score 10, especially if he's going to be taking the best defensive assignment on the other side. Yeah, that's a starter.
All right. Fair enough. How long, says Fish Tank, how long before we get Bronny and the Bronny guy flannel? You know, that would be, if I was his agent, I'd be working on that. Have him be Bronny guy, the new Bronny guy.
Bronny man. Yeah.
Have him sitting there with the paper towel.
Like selling paper towels.
Yeah, that's what thank you, Randy. Oily Stool says, okay, now Randy is playing the Skull Viking horn for Bronny James. That doesn't make any sense. And what's with the thunder sound? Well, we established that. He thinks that Bronny James is bad luck for the Phoenix Suns. Let's see. Bear Claw says it was exciting. So exciting to see that top 10 finish in the same position they started. I did not see one car pass another car that were in the top 10 the whole race. # merry-go-round. So when he said how exciting that Formula One race was, I think there was sarcasm involved. And that's why I still wish, and I want to talk to the federal government about establishing Sarcastica as the font in italics. And you should be on your phone. There should be an I button. You hit that and you start typing so you can text
Well, I mean,
in
if you
Sarcastica.
if you watch the race, which it doesn't sound like you did, if you watch the race, you would have seen that Charles Leclerc from the Ferrari team inherited the lead, and look, I don't know what to say about F1. I mean, kind of is what it is, especially in Monaco, a narrow course. Passing's very hard there. I don't know what else to say about that. So,
Mr. Wilbur says Brawny paper towels, the quicker picker upper. Yeah. No, you can totally see him actually getting the money for that. Remember, we thought Taco Charlton was going to clean up with Taco Bell, but I guess he didn't play that.
Taco Falls.
Taco Falls, is that it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tacos out there, and they have not cashed in on that taco.
I mean,
money.
I was thinking that was it.
He didn't
Taco
do
Falls.
anything, so you can't cash in if you're
I know.
not a great basketball player.
I know. So it's like, they waited. That was smart of Taco Bell. They're just like, let's just see how this pans out before we. Yeah. Bonjour, Keon, Randy, and Jeffrey. Hold on. I got to hit the damn translate button.
Is this
Pierre.
from Philippe?
Philippe
Pierre. I just said Pierre.
Pierre, there it is.
He says, yes. Si. Everybody, salutes the great Charles Leclerc, who won the Monaco Grand Prix. But he is not a French. He was born and raised in the Monte Carlo, Monaco. He's not a Frenchman. He also drives a disgusting Italian or French car.
I mean,
spit on a Ferrari.
I mean, okay, hang on. France is on three sides of Monaco. Basically, it's a French Providence, is it not?
Yeah, he won it, but he's not French.
He
was raised in Monte Carlo.
I think he's French.
Monaco.
He's a Frenchy guy. Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with Pierre.
I like Pierre. He's French.
Yeah. Sun Devil Raul says, I got a good friend from Indianapolis. Years ago, he snuck us into that track for some race, not the Indy 500. Beer Bob says, LeBron is now doing Taco Bell commercials. Of course, he loves the money. He ain't going to pay for the minimum. I don't know how that's connected to the Taco Bell commercial, but probably
because I think we were talking about Taco Fall before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
LeBron
doing
got the
Taco Bell commercials, can you get that 12-pack of tacos?
I think you can get a 12-pack of tacos right now if you just go down there and buy 12 tacos.
No. If you're doing, I mean, for free.
Well, if you're
I
the
think they
face
gave
of
him-
Taco Bell,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could get a 12
You get a
pack of
12er.
tacos whenever
They'll
you
give
want.
him anything he
Tacos.
wants.
Yeah.
If you're LeBron James,
I'm Brawny, and I want a 12-pack of tacos.
they'll give you a baker's dozen of tacos.
All right. All right.
Do you know what a baker's dozen is, Keon?
That's
13.
13.
13.
Yeah.
Beer Bob. So you're right. Fifth letter says I think I need to preface this by saying, remember, fifth letter is a Laker fan. He says he would definitely take a veteran minimum to play with his son.
He would not. 0% chance.
Bronny only wants to work out for the Lakers or the Suns, so it'll be one of the two.
It doesn't matter. LeBron
I
James
think-
is not taking a veteran's minimum
I think
to play
LeBron
anywhere.
goes back to Cleveland and finishes his career in Cleveland.
Maybe. But does Cleveland give him the best chance at getting a championship right now?
Yes.
It's a decent chance. It's not the
Yes.
best. Like I don't even know what the best would be. 'cause
Better
when
than the
LeBron-
Lakers.
When
Come on.
LeBron shows up, he changes everything. So it's hard
Yeah.
to say. But no, it's not better than the Lakers. No. I mean, they've got Donovan Mitchell right now as a free agent. So we'll see if they bring him back. And then, they've got a couple of good players, but they're young guys. Darius Garland is on the team. Evan Mobley is a really good young player, but I think Mobley's probably closer to his ceiling already.
Oh yeah. No.
I just don't think LeBron comes back and makes that a championship team.
Yes, he does.
Even in the East.
Yes, he does.
So money's not everything, and LeBron's got $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So
he has all the
but
money.
guys like being paid what they're worth. It's hard to get somebody to take the pay cut that would be, to take the veterans minimum as LeBron James. He's still playing well. He hasn't completely fallen off.
Oh
or
no,
anything.
not at all. I mean, listen, LeBron James, for whatever you want to say about him, like him, love him, or whatever, he still can take control of any moment on a basketball court. He's still physically dominant as he wants to be. Has he lost a step? Is he getting older? Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you what, he has slowed down Father Time. That is for sure. This is a guy I don't want to play defense against because he's going to make you look silly. He's made some of your best defensive guys now look silly. Not the entire game, but he'll find his moment, and all of a sudden you're like, God dang it, that's LeBron. So no, you can't count him out until he says he's out. And, it's hard for me to say because I don't like him much as a basketball player. So, he is a main factor on, they got to figure out how to build around him. And so what the Lakers got to be looking at is not, oh my God, how can Bronny fit in? It's going to be, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? Do we go ahead and send Anthony Davis somewhere to try to get some other people to put around LeBron? What is wrong with that, combination, Keon, with the Lakers? What is missing there? Because you thought, wow, this isn't fair. You got LeBron James, you got Anthony Edward. I'm sorry, the eyebrow guy. What's his name?
No, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. Thank you. I was thinking Anthony Edwards. So what do you got to do to get the Lakers, past the first round?
They need to get better defensively. That's a start. But also, they're like the Suns in that they need a point guard too. I don't think D'Angelo Russell got it done. He's a really, really talented offensive player. He can score, but sometimes as a playmaker, he just doesn't see passes and other things that he should see to get other guys the ball in spots where they can score. And he is a disaster on the defensive end. Like that, he's so bad defensively that anything he gives you on the offensive side doesn't feel like enough. And it really hurt them in games where like LeBron now has to come and be the point guard essentially. LeBron doesn't want to be the point guard. LeBron is at the stage in his career, other guys should be setting him up. But no, he still has to be the guy to get the entire offense going. He has to be the one that gets other people shots, gets himself shots, and then he's got to play an incredibly good defense as well. Like you're just asking so much of LeBron the older that he gets, and they don't have anybody to take some of those responsibilities from him. So that I think the point guard and the defender, maybe they're the same guy, but they need to find that this summer.
Mr. Wilbur says, how's this for a sarcastic font? I love you, Jeffrey. That's just all caps.
That's not sarcastic at all. You're just yelling.
Yeah. I know you love me. It's a little weird and uncomfortable for not just me, but also for your family. Big George says, Keon, love you, man. But where there is smoke, there is fire. Bronny's only working out with the Suns and the Lakers. He had 10 other requests. He said, no, thank you. Bronny James is either going to the Suns or going to the Lakers. I guarantee it.
LeBron James Jr. can work out for whoever he wants. Whoever drafts him. And guess what? He said he's not going back to college. He's made it official. So he's going to stay in the NBA with whoever drafts him. He doesn't have the leverage to do anything now.
Came out today. He's like, I am staying in the NBA draft. His agent is put him right there. But here's the thing. Will he be drafted?
Yeah, I think he will be.
You think he's a second round guy, though?
I think he's a second rounder. I don't think, because you can get feedback from all of these teams of like, would you draft me? They're not going to tell you exactly where or what they're thinking. But yeah, like the teams will let you know, no, you should go back to college. We'd draft you next year if you were there. We wouldn't draft you this year. And I think he's gotten enough feedback from people around the league to suggest, okay, I'll probably be drafted if I go. So I think that's a smart move by him. I think getting in the NBA and getting on that NBA workout, the nutrition, the dieting, the exercise, all of that, the cardio that it takes to be an NBA player as compared to a college player, like all that stuff, like the faster you can get into that, the better. So I don't think that's a bad thing for him. But yeah, I think he will be drafted. I just don't think that it's a lock. He can work out where he'd like to go, but if somebody else says no, I think we can do something with that. Memphis drafts him. What's he going to do? He's going to go to Memphis.
What is an NBA team going to do, though, to assure that Bronny is ready to play in the NBA?
Well, obviously, I think you have to define what his strengths and his weaknesses are. Work on the strengths and work on like ways that those strengths can be used in games. So you get him in certain moments where, okay, we need somebody to maybe put the clamps on somebody, and we know Bronny's good at that, so we'll put him in that position. We're not going to put any pressure on him to do more than what he can do. And then as you develop him as a shooter, you start putting him in those spots as well, and seeing if he can handle it. You bring him along slowly. There's no need to rush him. He's not, like his dad. He's not supposed to be a franchise savior, so he doesn't have to be any of that. Just ask him to do what he can do right now, and then work on what his weaknesses are in the offseason.
Speaking of weaknesses, that his heart issue, is that something that these teams may be looking at going, oh, I mean, you don't need a guy who's heart exploding right there on the court. I know they medically cleared him to be drafted, but isn't there some concern that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's always a concern. And we've had that not just in the NBA. We've had that in a number of other sports where a player shows up with a heart issue of some kind. And then the teams have to do their own medical evaluation. You get the guy's medical stuff if they've made that available, which to my knowledge, Bronny's made that available for everybody. And then you can do your own physicals if you work the player out. Which that's the thing that's going to be tough is if he's only working out with the Lakers and only working out with the Suns, then that's going to be hard for if you're Memphis and you want to take a shot on Bronny. Maybe you didn't get to physically look at him, but if you look at his medical things that he's made available and you're okay with that information, yeah, you can move on that and be okay with it.
Oily Stools is pretty sure Taco Bell is not on LeBron's strict paleo diet regime. No, but money is.
Do you think during the season he eats there?
I saw this thing on Twitter. They're saying, hey, remember we were talking about the other day? We're like, hey, people are saying that Chipotle is underfilling their diarrhea bags. I'm sorry, burritos. And they said, well, here's a hack you got to do is you got to video them as they make your burrito so they don't underfill it. They'll be, oh, I'm being watched. And so they'll fill your burrito the way they're supposed to be. That seems
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that just because I don't know. Now I feel like a snitch.
That's a Karen move.
Yeah.
A little bit right there.
I feel like I'm putting somebody at a little bit of jeopardy there where it's just like, because it's not like what they're supposed to have a certain amount. And I'm guessing that's like a corporate wide amount. But that poor person that's standing there is putting what I'm sure their manager said to put in the burrito. So recording that person and making them look like a villain it just feels like a jerk move to me.
Yeah, listen, look at me. Maybe my burrito should be smaller. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it should be. But here's the thing. I'm not worried about whether you overfill the burrito. I'm just worried about if I eat Chipotle, do I have quick access to a bathroom? That's what I worry about.
It's a great question.
That is my logistics issue.
It's a great question.
Fifth letter says, give me Donovan and Evan for LeBron and some draft picks. Well, he's a Laker fan. That's what he's asking for. Is he right?
No. Why on earth would the Cavs ever do that? This is the biggest fan trade thing I've ever seen. And Laker fans are the most guilty fan base of making trades that are absolutely unfair for the other team. LeBron James is 40. What are you talking about? Why would they give you two young players, one of which would have to be a sign and trade for Donovan Mitchell? They couldn't just, he's not on the roster anymore. He's a free agent. So they'd have to sign and trade, give up Evan Mobley, who they drafted, I think, 3rd overall a couple years ago, and basically blow up what was a playoff team to get LeBron James and a couple of draft picks, which the Lakers don't have one to give away this year, I don't think, because you can't give them away in consecutive years. And they forfeited their 2nd round pick I don't think the Lakers can give away their one next year either. Like, what picks do you even have to give these people? What are you talking about?
Nice try, fifth letter.
It's just a fan trade. And they're all bad. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about somebody getting richer when we come back. Spoiler alert, it's not us. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains from May 24th through June 3rd. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
The Arizona primary election is coming up on July 30th, 2024. That means the deadline to register to vote for this election is July 1st. Every voter has ballot options to choose from. Based on your party affiliation, learn which ballot you can request. Just head to arizona.vote. That's arizona.vote or call 1-877-THE-VOTE. Make your vote count. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
If it's local,
we talk about it.
1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Randy jumped off the minute I said it wasn't us getting rich. I don't know what he was expecting. Yeah. But I guess he decided to go drink his not being richness away someplace. So he'll be back tomorrow. All right, so here's somebody getting rich. Ty Lue, he just agreed to a new long-term contract with the Clippers. Do we have any details on the money? I haven't seen the details of the money, but they are saying it is going to make him one of the highest-paid coaches in the NBA.
I don't know what the yearly is, but the total is 5 years, 70 mil.
All right, so not Monty Williams rich, but rich.
Well, he'll be damn close. I don't know what Monty's is on a yearly basis, but just over 10. So this will put him there too. So yeah, they'll be. He'll either be slightly richer than Monty or just a bit poorer. But that's
somewhere in the range of Monty. You're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good for Ty Lue. Because remember, Ty Lue was a LeBron coach back in the day, and everybody's like, "Is Ty Lue a good coach, or is it just all LeBron?" You know, and when he was there, everybody was, well, I can't really tell. And then Ty Lue, when he leaves, now you're going to see, okay, well, what's his record? How's he doing? So far, in 4 seasons as head coach of the Clippers, 184 and 134. They've been to 3 playoff appearances, and they went to the Western Conference Finals in 2021. So before that, he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers for a year, and that was when they won a championship.
And by the way, to me, that was the one where I don't care what other people said about Ty Lue. That's when I knew he was a good coach, was when they were down 3-1 to the Warriors. The adjustments that Ty Lue made game after game to keep them in that series so that they could ultimately win it were incredible. It was a masterclass in coaching and strategy. And then people were like, yeah, well, he's got LeBron and Kyrie, so it doesn't mean anything. Like, no, the guy was out there coaching his ass off. He was good.
Yeah, let me ask you there. He was only with the Cavaliers for 1 year? Or was he with them for more years?
I think he was with them for a couple.
Okay.
Because I remember they went to 2 finals and lost one and then won the other one.
So when they lost one, they fired him. Because I'm trying to figure out, why would they fire him?
I don't think they fired him. I think it was a mutual parting of ways. Like he saw what they were rebuilding. And like, if you don't want to be here coaching the guys, well, I will look out at the contract, because that's not good for anybody. So yeah, he ended up taking a few years off and then showing up in LA with the Clippers.
Yeah. And now he's getting paid.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
He's a good coach. I think he deserves it.
Let's see here. Historian says, it's $14 million a year for old Ty Lue. 14 a year? Does that make sense? Does that work out? I think it does the math. I don't know. We're not doing math, historian, so we'll leave that to you. BBL Drizzy says, I'm very suspicious now. Randy leaves at the same time every day. Is he cheating on you guys with another radio station? No. I don't think so. Now you mention it, I'm a little suspicious. I'm going to say I don't think so. Mr. Wilbur says, hey, 5th letter, don't worry. Keon doesn't believe in Santa Claus either. Yeah, we'll show him. Yeah, okay.
All right.
I don't think he ever said he didn't believe in Santa Claus.
I mean, we don't have to get into it.
Ty Lue is getting richer. Everybody's getting. Hear me. And we were talking about whether LeBron would take less money to play with his son. Keon thinks no way. Maybe he's rich enough.
I mean, maybe he'll take less. He won't take the veterans minimum though. Like maybe he won't take everything he could get, but he's not taking the vets minimum.
Let me ask you a question. If you had a choice, would you rather be 5 times smarter than you are, 5 times richer, or 5 times more attractive?
I'd be 5 times richer.
You pick richer over attractive. So 5 times whatever you are now, you'd be 5 times richer. But if you were 5 times smarter, you could get way richer than that. Or if you were 5 times more attractive, you could make more money just based on that alone.
Plenty of smart people you've never heard of because they are poor. Like they didn't have the initial money to do anything with their smarts. And being 5 times more attractive, I already think I'm attractive. So I don't. What would being 5 times that be? I don't know that helps me enough.
If I were 5 times more attractive, it wouldn't be fair. Yeah. But I'm already pretty smart, I think, and richer. Yeah, that's the thing. It's only 5 times more richer than now. So you think, what is the most likely to make me richer? Being smarter or being more attractive? Whichever one of those, that's what you do. And that will multiply and make you richer. Now, I know you're saying a lot of really smart people who are just never gotten rich. Well, that's not me. I would intentionally be trying to leverage that into
It's just
money.
If you have other things that keep you from spending the time it takes to make money, you don't make money. I would take the money, and 5 times what I make now would be, I would be okay. I would be fine.
I don't know. 500 people took this exact question poll, and with those options, and everybody said smarter. Richer was a close second. And gotta think about it though. The average IQ in the world is 100. And so that means now you've got 500 IQ. You telling me you can't get richer based on that?
Yeah,
And then
you can't. It's rich because there are plenty of dumb rich people. What's the guarantee that there's plenty of
500 IQ?
There's
trust me, you'd find a way to
Yeah.
make a few extra bucks. And
Listen,
then think about it. If you were 500 IQ, then you get super rich. Guess what? Money makes you really attractive. I'm just saying. Look at Mark Davis.
I took the attractiveness thing and threw it out the window. I don't understand at what point you need to be 5 times more attractive. Like that. That's helping anything. But
I think you go ahead.
It's not, so for me, it was down to IQ and money,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I think I'm like decently smart. I would just like somebody.
All right. Well, I want even higher IQ, and then I'll make more money. That's what I think. But that is what most people thought. Most people thought it through. Of course, if I had $1 billion, then I'd probably say, yeah, I'd like to be 5 times richer. Bam, $5 billion. I'm already good looking, pretty damn smart. Now I got 5 billion instead of 1 billion. See, it just depends on where you are and what you want.
Yeah. So I get it. I'm not saying that there's any wrong answer. I just know which one I take.
Moist One says, if my penis was 5 times bigger, well, that wasn't a choice. Moist One. He says, yeah, well, if I had that, I'd still have a girlfriend. Sorry, Moist One.
Mm-hmm.
We are really
way more information than any of us needed, but I'm sorry to hear that in every sense of the word.
Yeah. It's not surprising, but Harry Soap says, if you were 5 times richer than attractive, you'd be Raiders owner Mark Davis. Well, it doesn't mean, listen.
Well, you don't have to give one up.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're not losing to get. This is just whatever you are right now, Harry Soap. Whatever you are right now. Historian says 6 times IQ, 740. Well, nobody said it was 6 times. It was 5 times. Why would you think?
Why did you make your own separate scenario from the one that we're talking about?
You know what that says? You need to be 5 times smarter. Slow Mo Zoe says you can go on Jeopardy and get rich if you're 5 times smarter. True. Good point. But then again, maybe not. Because here's the thing. It's not about how intelligent you are. It's about what you know. You can be a 500 IQ person and still not know stuff. There are things that you don't know. You're ignorant, but you're brilliant. So until you learn it, you don't know it.
Yeah, you still have to put the effort in to learn things. Just because you're smart, I don't know, like even smart people need to memorize things. That you don't get to just look at a book and then all of a sudden you know all the things in the book because you read it once. It's not how learning works, even if you're very intelligent.
Fifth letter says, that's right, Wilbur. What does Keon know being a Washington sports fan? Not a damn thing. He says, just kidding, Keon. You know your stuff.
I'm trying to remember what was that in reference to.
I don't even know. Seems like a needless attack all of a sudden.
Yeah, well,
my dogs.
It hasn't been all that bad.
Why are you dogs freaking the hell out? Did something happen in the news? Was there some breaking sports news?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, nope. Here it is. My dogs are freaking out because there's 2 animal cruelty warrants been filed against the Chiefs, Isaiah Buggs. Yeah, I guess he's in trouble for cruelty to dogs in the 2nd degree. That news just broke a little bit ago. I guess he had a couple of dogs there. They found a couple of pit bull and a Rottweiler screened in a back porch, no access to food or water, malnourished and neglected at the residence, and the place seemed abandoned. And they're like, well, Bugs had moved away. So basically, he moved away and didn't bring his dogs and left them on the porch to die. Holy moly.
That's terrible. Man, the Chiefs are having an off season of horribleness.
Yeah.
I will say about Isaiah Buggs, though, he hasn't been a Chief this whole time. He most recently played with the Lions. This is his first year with the Chiefs.
That's messed up. That is messed up. I'm going to move away. I'm just going to leave my dogs in the porch. Just driving down the road. Did you forget something? I can't remember. No, you don't forget your dogs?
No. Not if you actually ever cared about it. No.
Lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. Although his lawyer is saying, this is all boo-boo. No, this never happened. Dogs did not belong to him. He was unaware they were there. Yada, yada, yada. So We'll see what happens from that.
I hope he's not the monster that makes him seem like.
Yeah, right now, I mean,
I need his lawyer to be 100% correct.
he's making Harrison Butker look like an okay guy. Like this is horrible. Although there are more details on the whole Harrison. Wait, what am I thinking? No, wait. Have I got the right guy?
I don't know. The Chiefs have so many guys.
Oh, Brandon McManus.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
McManus.
Brandon McManus.
My team.
I'm like here accusing Harrison Butker of horrible things.
That's
Brandon
okay, hold on.
McManus. So never mind the Chiefs, but
Yeah.
still, we got some new information in the Brandon McManus thing, and we can talk about that when we come back. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher with Josh Garcia of the Miracle Mile Deli. Josh, I want to thank you and your family for making such a huge difference over the last 75 years in the restaurant business in Arizona.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve generations of families like yours in the Valley over the last 7 decades, and we are extremely grateful to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2024 with a variety of different specials. So come on down to our Phoenix location at 16th Street in Campbell with your family and friends and celebrate with us. For more information, visit miraclemiledeli.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains from May 24th through June 3rd. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Oh, this is nice news. This is actually a nice piece of news right here. Big George wants to break some news, and by God, I'm going to let him. Can I actually let him? Here's what he says. Josen Sanon, a 5-star shooting guard in the high school basketball class of 2024 has flipped his commitment from Arizona to Arizona State University. Sanon just made the announcement on his Instagram page. 6'5" guard from Vermont Academy, ranked 24th on the 247 sports composite class of 2024. And he says ASU basketball now has the number 3 recruiting class in the entire country.
That's their second 5-star, by the way.
Yeah, only Duke and Alabama have better right now.
Jaden Quaintance.
ASU has 4 top 100 commits, 2 top 25 commits for the first time ever. Number 9, Jaden Quaintance, and yes, number 22, Josen Sanon. Am I saying his name right? Does anybody know how to say that? Is it Josen? Is it just Jason with an O?
I think it's Josen.
Josen Sanon.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with that.
Until further notice.
I have until someone says it out loud so I can hear it. That sounds right to me.
And I like how you're going to hold it out until just not you, Jeffrey. I'm going to wait till somebody else says it out loud.
Well,
so I can hear it.
You're asking,
I
so
have no idea.
So that means you don't know. I mean,
well, I know you wouldn't have trusted me. Anyway.
If you had said it with confidence, then I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe.
Josen Sanon.
But you were asking, and I'm asking.
I'm always.
I don't know either. So,
no idea. If anybody knows, let us know.
Amir Ali, by the way, is a 4-star who is currently. He has not officially committed to ASU, but that's where he's most interested in going. So could have a pretty solid basketball team with the Sun Devils this season. If Bobby Hurley can close it out and sign all these guys.
Well, hooray! Here's hoping. The Tom says, "Congratulations, ASU." Hurling sibling rivalry. There's more to the text. The text line is lagging on me right now. We'll get back to you, Tom.
And I do think that it helps that ASU is just in the Big 12 now. That's a part of influence that you now have that you didn't have before.
That's all it took? We should have done this years ago.
Well, I mean, part of it is that changing conferences isn't an easy thing to do. Once you sign an agreement where you're collectively sharing revenue with all of these conferences, if you back out, there's a penalty. It's a massive one. So most schools don't change conferences until, that collective agreement is up.
So the Tom's text came through. Now, the Tom, remember, he's that lucky man who got to stand next to Tim McGraw in line to get a pork chop sandwich. He says Hurley's sibling rivalry is real.
I mean, we'll see. It hasn't been real yet. How about that?
Let's see. Bruno Baller says should be a lot of pressure, on Hurley this year, with all that talent and a competitive Big 12 conference. Well, I'd say the pressure is also because they just extended him, didn't they? They just extended his contract.
And I think there's some pressure from that. And there's some pressure from, there's a new athletic director. He didn't hire you. So, the friendship and goodwill, and we'll give it another chance next year that may not extend to you if you don't have a great season.
Beer Bob says, did you guys see Caleb Love withdrew from the 2024 NBA draft? He'll go back to Arizona for 5th college basketball season.
I actually did not see that. No.
Did you just make that up?
I don't think that's happening. But I didn't see that anywhere.
So Caleb Love, according to him, withdrew from the 2024.
No, that's as of 48 minutes ago.
What's that all about?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Have no idea. Gonna have to look into that.
That is weird. 888-368-1580. Don't get it. There's many things I don't get. There's a lot of things that I just find confusing. Like Isaiah Thomas coming out and saying, hey, you're not going to believe this. He says, I was held at gunpoint and, this kid had an AK-47 pointed at me, but then he recognized me and he let me go. What the hell are you talking about? He's like, no, he says, I had a life-changing moment yesterday. The kid pulled an AK-47 out on me and the homies. And if it wasn't for who I was, him recognizing me in my own city, he probably would have ended all our lives. Be safe out there. What?
Be safe out there.
There's no details beyond what I just gave you. So don't ask me questions, but I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. Where the hell did that happen?
He's from Tacoma, Washington.
The hippies up there have AKs?
In Tacoma? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They named a Toyota after that place. You're telling me it's a violent place?
I mean, I don't know all about it, but I do have some friends that live in Washington, and it's not great as far as crime goes. So
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So he says, we just got to pray for these young men. God was working yesterday for real, for real. Damn, it could have been all over that quick for no reason at all. What was the guy pulling an AK-47 on you for no reason? I've got a lot of questions here.
I mean, I have a lot of questions too, but have there been a string of murders going on in Tacoma? I genuinely, I don't know.
I've never had an AK-47 pulled on me. I've never been in a situation where that might happen. And I can't imagine. You know what I'm saying? If you're being robbed, maybe. So
It doesn't seem like it was a robbery situation, though.
Or it was. And then he was like, oh my God, you're Isaiah Thomas. All right.
Which, yeah, usually especially if you're from a city that's not, a major city, we're not talking Atlanta or even here or LA, like a city like Tacoma that maybe doesn't produce a bunch of NBA players. Yeah, the one guy that everybody knows made it to the NBA, you'd probably recognize that guy.
Boy, it's a good thing. It's a good thing he did. So is he still with the Suns? Isaiah Thomas is still with the Suns?
I think his contract went to the end of the season, so he's a free agent. If the Suns offered him a contract to come back, I think he'd take it because he hasn't started in the NBA in a while, sadly. The guy's been through a lot, so it definitely I'm rooting for him.
Such a weird situation. Swazman says, hey, Jeffrey, last year in Mesa, I went to go walk a dog, and my client's new boyfriend was sitting in the apartment looking for the ex-boyfriend. When I walked in, and he pointed a loaded gun right at me. I said, oh, I'm just a dog walker. It was crazy. Obviously, I'm not working for that person anymore. So wait a second. So the new boyfriend was expecting the ex-boyfriend, like the ex-boyfriend was stalking or something. You walk in, and the guy is like, holy crap, this must be the old boyfriend. And he pointed a gun at you. Man, that is the danger you face when you walk into somebody's house, huh? Even though you're supposed to be there, even though they're giving you a key, they're like, hey, walk my dog. Nobody thinks they're going to run into that.
Yeah.
But I bet you think about that a lot. Like, do you open the door, go, dog walker is here? Do you do that now? Because I think I would.
How could you not?
Not a stalker.
You just need some way to indicate that you are exactly
not an ex-boyfriend.
Yep. I am not a target at all. I'm bringing this dog back to his home, and I'll be out of here. That's okay with everybody.
At that point, I would imagine Swazman says, you walk the dog, I'll be going now.
Yeah.
And never coming back. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Hurley squirms under pressure. Maybe the new athletic director won't allow boosters to sexually harass his wife now. There's an awful lot going on there in that text.
There's one claim there that I have never heard. So you're going to have to explain that one.
No, there was something that did pop up a year or two ago.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I didn't hear that one. I please explain. I did not know.
Yeah, boy, it was a couple of years ago, and fill us in, Baker's Cocky Hens, because I'm already hazy on this.
But I would also keep the sports analysis separate from that other conversation about boosters and
well, I mean, that could be both. He squirms under pressure from
I don't think that first part was about that though. Like, if you're going to bring it up in the basketball sense, then it feels really wrong and weird to bring it up in the sense that somebody may have inappropriately touched the man's wife. Like that, we're not talking about the same thing at that point.
Well, harassed. I don't know if they assaulted.
Harassed. Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
She was walking through. I have vague memory of her
somebody may have inappropriately said something to his wife. Either way, that is not. I would not put that with the sports analysis. I would keep those two things separate.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, time for you to do some WNBA sports analysis. So Caitlin Clark is as advertised. Just took her a while to get rolling. She scored a season high 30 points, but the Fever did what the Fever do. They lost. So now they've only won one game so far in this entire season, but that doesn't matter. It is more about the development of Caitlin Clark. She became the first rookie to record 30 points, 3 blocks, and 3 steals in a game in WNBA history. And at 30 points, the most by a rookie in Fever history, for sure. Only Tamika Catchings got more in her rookie season, which was 32 points twice. But my point is, back to Caitlin, yeah, she's exactly what everybody thought she was going to be. What do you think? It was going to keep going like that? So now she's Wembanyama. Wembanyama had a rough start. Caitlin had a rough start. Wembanyama finally figured it out. Caitlin is figuring it out. Wembanyama's team kept losing. Caitlin's team's probably going to keep losing. And you can't hold that against her. It's a team sport. She can't do everything. But she's doing things now at a record pace. So everybody get off her back. She is as advertised.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody that was watching knew that was going to be the case. Like, she's clearly skilled, but yeah, you make a month and a half transition from college to pro, you are going to struggle a little bit when those pros get to play against you. They're bigger than you, they're stronger than you, they're faster than you. Some of them are more skilled than you, at least at this stage in their careers. They're in their primes. You're not there yet. Like that, there was going to be some stuff to work out. And then I think that also there's a physicality there from the college game to the pro game that you have to get used to, and that everybody in that league does get used to. You know, a lot of the other players that got drafted in this draft class have also been dealing with that, but the microscope's not on them. So, you know, when Alyssa Thomas knocks Angel Reese's head off, that doesn't make the news in the way that it does when it happens to Caitlin. Like, they're all dealing with this change, and most of them, especially the ones taken in that top 5, 6, 7 part of the draft, like they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They're great players.
Well, I'll tell you what, whatever the reason, whatever the effect has been, money, because 16,000 plus people showed up, near sellout crowd there in Indianapolis for the Fever. And of course, they had some celebrities in the crowd. T.Y. Hilton from the Colts was there, Tyrese Halliburton, and Shaquille Leonard and Nick Cross. So, you know, there's celebrities showing up, dudes showing up, and just appreciating a good game. 16,000 fans show up, and they showed up for a losing team. But part of it was because Caitlin's on there, and everybody knows she's going to break out. They at least got to see that. And so this is good for the WNBA straight across the WNBA, because now people's curiosity is piqued. So this is good. This is good for the sport. Not doing much for the Mercury.
We don't have to talk about that. It's been hard to watch.
Oh my God,
it's been hard to watch. We don't have to talk about the Mystics either. We can let both of those slide. It's okay.
Sun and the Mercury. Last night, gee, many Christmas, 70-47. The Mercury only scored 47 points. 34 of those points were in the third quarter. So the rest of the time, I can't believe the Connecticut Sun only scored 70. How bad this looks.
Yeah.
One of 27 from 3-pointers.
It was one of those starters are on the bench for like end of the third quarter to the end of the game. Like it was done. It was done early. Mercury playing right now and continuing to get their asses kicked. It's not great.
Shot 15 of 63 from the field. That's 23.8%. Nobody finished in double figures. It was just bad. Oh, they're playing right now as we speak.
As we speak, they're down to the Liberty 19-8. And they are 22-8 now.
Could be worse. It is,
but they don't have Brittany Griner, and that's a very big problem. And I mean that literally. She takes up the whole paint when she's out there, and she's an incredible defender. She's hard to stop when she's on the block. It's just tough. and when she's not out there, the Mercury have nothing going on in the middle of that defense. Everybody goes right to the basket. And the Liberty are real good. So this is going to be another bad game.
Well, the Mercury generally are better 3-point shooters, but they've gone into a slump, I guess. Here's a question I got about the WNBA, because I don't know much about it. They all get paid very little money. Some of the stars make a little bit more money, right? So during free agency, how are they making the decisions? How are the players making the decisions? Because, what is the differences in money that a team can offer? What kind of a cap do they deal with? You know what I'm saying? So a team like the Fever can get some help for Caitlin Clark. A team like the Mercury can, I guess, rebuild. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But, it's got to be a different economy, of course. Is it a similar sort of thing?
It is similar. It's obviously scaled to the amount of money that's in that league versus what's in the NBA.
So you're making 35,000 here and you're going over there for 37.
It's not quite that minuscule. But some place can offer you 30, and then you could go someplace and play set for 75, and that does matter when you're trying to make a living and make the decision as to whether or not I can make enough money playing in the US versus in the off season I might have to go to Australia. I might have to go play in Germany. It's not as big, but if someone's giving you a contract where you're making a mill and a half, that's nothing in an NBA contract, but that's enough that you don't have to play all year round in all these different leagues around the world. And you can have an actual off season and maybe relax with your family a little bit before getting back to work. So that is where where everybody's trying to get financially, is to just feel solid enough that you're not, just playing basketball in Israel one summer because you have to.
Is anybody even close to the cap in the WNBA?
Yeah. The Liberty are and the Aces are. They're loaded. Those are the two super teams of the WNBA.
Well, these other teams need to make more of an effort, I guess, if they got cap space to work with.
Yeah, but of course, all the different owners are not putting the same financial resources into every team. So the Aces put a lot of money. The Seattle Storm do. Connecticut does. New York does. And then, it varies after that. I know the Mercury do. And I think Matt Ishbia is going to keep doing that. So I think the Mercury are just having a down year. They've got superstars that are on the backside of their prime now and kind of aging out. But a lot of these teams are trying to spend the money, but when one team has a couple of talented players and the stars decide, hey, we want to join up and play together, like in the NBA, what are you supposed to do when Wade, Bosch, and LeBron get together? I don't know.
Swazman says it's obvious a lot of WNBA players are a little jealous of the attention Caitlin's getting. She's super popular, more popular than any female athlete that I know. I'm sure some might be a little jealous, but
who do you think is?
Yeah, you don't even have to say a name. I'm sure there's some people who look at her and be like, "Wow, great, she's getting all the attention." But I think most of them are probably happy that the sport itself is getting more attention.
Yeah, and most people have said that. You find me the jealous person. You find that person for me, because I haven't heard anybody say anything about being jealous of Caitlin Clark or hating her or anything like that. I think what a lot of people said was it's going to be a tough transition from college to pro, which is true. That's a fact. That's not even up for dispute. And it was she really did need to struggle a little bit. But they're not playing tough defense on her because they're jealous. They've always done that. I'm telling you, I've been watching the league for a long time. They have always played defense that tough. They don't get those same whistles and calls that the men get. The men get some of these superstar calls, and you're like, really? That? We're calling that? In sort of a way, the WNBA feels more like 90s basketball, where the scores are not that high and people are beating the tar out of each other. It's a tough league. Angel Reese almost got killed by Alyssa Thomas the other day. She went up and got clotheslined midair and landed on her head. That's, first off, that's scary. They suspended Alyssa Thomas for one game. It should have been more than one game, but that's how they're playing over there. And Caitlin went to that, and everybody started watching Caitlin in college. They followed her to the pros, and assumed that the reason why she's getting guarded that tough and fouled that often is because other people are jealous, and they're not even paying attention to the other rookies. Cameron Brink is getting beat up over with the LA Sparks. Like, they're all getting beat up. It's not just Caitlin.
Season on rookies.
Yeah, because that league is small. There are only 12 teams, and nobody wants to give up that spot to anybody else, and they are going to beat you up for it. That's just a fact.
BBL Drizzy says, where is Brittany Griner now? Did she get arrested in Russia again? Somebody tell the president we need to exchange a Russian prisoner again.
No, she's not in Russia. She's just injured.
Yeah, she's injured, Drizzy. Take it easy. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, Baker's Cocky Hens has clarified the old story about Hurley's wife. We'll retell that. And, of course, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need, faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
It doesn't get much better than having a job you love, working with people you love, children. And when you become a certified childcare provider, you can spend your days surrounded by your favorite people. Enjoy a fulfilling career caring for up to 4 children in your home. You'll get to run your own business, support children's development, provide parents with peace of mind, and make a difference in your community. Get certified to become a childcare provider at azchildcare.org. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
Ralph, I think we should change the name of our show.
To what?
Let's call it 30 Years Sports Talk Interview Fun Time.
What kind of name is that?
Well, we've been friends for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We talk about sports.
Sure.
We interview personalities from the Arizona sports scene.
Okay.
And we have fun.
Dude, are you done?
For now, yes.
Look, Neil, all this is true, but let's just stick to our regular name.
Okay, Ralph, but I think my name is better.
Anyways, it's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Okay, so Baker's Cocky Hens brought up saying, hey, maybe this new athletic director won't allow boosters to sexually harass, Dan Hurley's wife. And I was like, oh, I remember something about that. I can't remember. When was that, though? He said his Hurley's wife was one of 3 known women harassed. University hired an independent law firm to conduct the investigation, and it concluded the women were sexually harassed by Ware, but he had not grabbed anyone or sexually assaulted anyone. Hurley didn't take too kindly to that and went back and forth with old Ray Anderson there. I don't know who Ware is, but I guess Ware was a booster of some sort. So, yeah, vaguely remember this story.
Yeah, that was like 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was during COVID. You couldn't harass anybody during COVID.
Well, it was February's 20,
except for like on Zoom.
So maybe it hadn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
pandemic.
Ray Anderson, just let it go, and Hurley was not too happy about that. I bet he's pretty happy now. The Ray Anderson's gone.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know what their relationship was working, but it couldn't have been good from what it sounds like.
See, you let somebody do something to my wife, you're getting punched in the nose. And the Hurley family, they're nose punchers. So I'm surprised that this didn't turn into more of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. I do think that like maybe you control your emotions and make sure that you.
Oh yeah, because Hurley looks like he's good at that.
Well, control it enough to keep your job.
I guess so.
It's one thing to yell at your players. It's not. People I know that lose their mind wouldn't yell at their boss. Like, you still got to eat.
Well, I'm just saying, if somebody messes with me and my family, that's a different kind of dynamic. T-Licious says, "What's up, fellas? Happy Wednesday. Caitlin Clark's going to have to get used to losing. It won't be easy, but she just needs to be humble and win over her locker room."
It seems like she has.
Yeah. This isn't on her, T-Licious. And I don't think that she has any work to do. She understands the situation as it is. She's like, it doesn't feel good to lose, but
and it doesn't seem like her teammates don't like her. They put it all over social media. They hang out all the time.
Oily Stool says, Cameron Brink is a sexy lady. Have you seen what she wears at the games? I don't know who that is.
She drafted third. I think she was drafted third. She went to the LA Sparks, and she just looks like a supermodel that's a basketball player part-time. It's just what she looks like.
Well, there you go. That gives you guys another reason to watch the game. I couldn't pick her out of a lineup, but if you say so. All right, so let's talk about something else. Now, this is awesome. One of the things that people always try to say, oh, Babe Ruth this, or this guy, Ty Cobb that, or this guy here. And I always say, yeah, okay, but, I'm not going to get all riled up about somebody before 1947 because, and even then, I ain't going to get riled up about somebody until, the 50s and 60s, because I always said those stats don't really matter until everybody's allowed to play. So now Major League Baseball has decided to add the Negro League stats to the record books. So now the stats show a little bit of a different story, especially for Josh Gibson. So he is now the all-time leader in batting average and some other things too. I think that this is amazing. Randy, I think it was off air. He was raving about this too, as a dyed-in-the-wool baseball fan. So now it's not the same. Can I just say this before we talk about these stats? It's cool. It's great they're in there. Shows Josh Gibson as just an astounding, spectacular baseball player. But imagine if they had all gotten to play together. Josh Gibson may have done even better. Maybe. Against some guys in Major League Baseball. Yeah, I'm just saying, this is nice, but if they'd all been playing together, what could have been?
Yeah.
Right?
You have to wonder. It's sadly one of the great what ifs in sports history.
Well, I think you know the answer. Look at the game now.
Yeah, everybody's represented, and we've seen so many players from all over the world, and baseball truly is an international game. And a lot of people struggled, and a lot of people fought, and a lot of people were locked out of Major League Baseball for this to eventually happen.
So Josh Gibson, now that his stats have been integrated into the record books, he has beaten Ty Cobb's 366 batting average, career batting average. He had 372. His slugging percentage, 718, beat Babe Ruth's 690. That ain't small. And then ops. He's got 1.177, beating out Babe Ruth's 1.164, and Josh Gibson is now Also the new single season leader in all those categories. The new, and it's like I said, it's not even close. It's not even close. So, I mean, that's pretty cool to see.
It is. And it's funny that some of Babe Ruth's records get eclipsed because Babe Ruth was a guy that actually did want black players playing in the major leagues. He was actually one of the supporters of that. But he didn't have the influence to do anything about it because he didn't own anything as far as the teams go. So those are the people that make the decisions. But I think he'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he'd be half drunk anyway.
That's true. The cigar hanging out of his mouth, as baseball players do.
Probably wouldn't even occur to him much. That's fine. But so yeah, now all the record books are a little bit closer to right. So that's for what it's worth. That's pretty good. 888-368-1580. We're sitting here talking about Josh Gibson and his dominant stats now being a part of Major League Baseball. But all you guys want to talk about is somebody named Cameron Brink. Okay. Average Joe says Brink is not a supermodel. She's just thin. She's average at best.
Okay, look, that's your opinion.
Are we really
man.
doing this?
I don't really want to argue about it. I'm just it's not a hill I'm going to die on. It's fine.
All right. So I went ahead and I copied and pasted, and she's a nice looking gal. What's your problem? T-Licious says Brink is the only female in those New Balance basketball commercials, Jeffrey. I don't.
If you haven't paid that close attention to them,
I don't.
Like many of us who just turn our brains off the moment commercial breaks start playing.
So basically, Cameron Brink, I'm just all the pictures just came up. She's a nice looking gal, and she's tall. She is quite tall. How tall is she? She is 6'4".
That's why I said supermodel, because they models are tall. I don't know if you've ever seen any in person. They're all over 6 foot.
She's like a girl next door who can get stuff off of high shelves for you.
And plays
girl
basketball
door,
pretty well.
Who can get your cat out of a tree without a ladder? Girl next door who will duck when she walks in your house. I'm just saying,
and double
double
machine.
Good for her. Yeah, she's good at basketball. That's what really matters. Swazman says Dion is right. He just fixed it. He goes, Keon. I meant Keon. Keon is right about this blonde, tall WNBA chick. She looks like a professional volleyball player, like the Olympic girl. Oh, I wouldn't kick her out of bed. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I don't know why we have to go there, but sure.
What makes you think you'd get her there?
That's
the thing people say. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers. Oh, I would. Jesus Christ. I don't care. My wife is gorgeous. If she was eating crackers, I'd kick her out of bed. Like, what are you doing eating crackers in bed?
Can you imagine all
What's
the
wrong
crumbs?
with you?
The wash, everything.
I'm sorry. I'd kick any girl out of bed for eating crackers.
Yeah, in bed. That's just
time and a place.
Yeah. What do you want, ants? Stop it.
That's how we get ants. So what were we talking about? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, see, listen, this is good too, because now people know the name of another player, and then they'll know the name of another player, and then maybe they'll start watching, and then maybe when they're watching, they'll see some good play. I don't know. I mean, Keon's been telling us for years. No, the quality of play is actually really good, and I'm like, yeah, they don't dunk, and he's like, well, it's not all about the dunking, and if you're honest, you only see a dunk or two a game, don't you?
Yeah. In fact, a game is generally a bad defensive game if you see a bunch of dunks. Like that means no one's defending. That's actually not good. Like the All-Star game.
We all like a good dunk. We do. We all like a good dunk, but it doesn't happen all the time. So with that, if you're a fan of basketball, give the WNBA a try. And then come back and let us know what you think.
Yeah. And if they're,
because I'm not doing it.
You don't have to. I've never been that person that's like, no, you have to watch it. You have to. Like, no, I think if you're interested in basketball and you'd like more, the WNBA has got some good basketball. And if there are specific players you like to watch in the NBA, there are players who play very similarly in the WNBA. And that's,
can I tell you though, I just haven't even found a game. I haven't accidentally been going through and like, oh, there's a game. It just never shows up. Where do they air these things?
I mean, they're on ESPN. I know they signed a huge,
Like
massive
regular
deal.
ESPN?
Yeah, regular ESPN. Though I do think that during the week it's tough because a lot of the games happen while we're doing the show. Like right now, the Mercury are playing. So, yeah.
How they doing now?
Because I stopped looking because I was not thrilled about those numbers.
Diamondbacks did officially lose to the Rangers 6-1.
Oh, you know what? Not bad. 36-29.
All right, so they're bringing it back. All right.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'll watch one. I'll just be flipping around to find it.
Yeah. Let me know what you think.
The Tom says, eating crackers in bed. What is this, a Norm Macdonald joke? I have no idea what you're talking about. Did he do a Norm Macdonald joke?
I don't know. I'm not
Did
familiar
he do a joke
with
about it? I don't remember hearing it. I wouldn't be surprised. Nobody wants somebody eating crackers in bed.
It's a terrible thing
There's
to do.
no punchline to this.
Yeah, it's not a joke. That's
you can eat
legitimately.
You got to get out of bed because now I got to change the sheets.
Yeah, you got to
I'm
wash
not gonna
everything.
sleep in your crumbs.
How do you know? And you can't shake it out because then you'll just have crumbs on your floor. You got to wash it.
I've gotten to a point in my life where I make enough money and, yeah, I know this is what I look like now. I ain't as cute as I used to be, but I don't give a crap. I don't care who you think you are. I'm kicking you out of bed if you're eating crackers. If that makes you mad and you go home, so be it. I can't have cracker crumbs in my bed. So no, there's no Norm Macdonald punchline coming. Norm Macdonald punchline. It's just
there's if we can't agree on that, there's nothing we can agree on.
Got to draw the line somewhere, Tom. If not there, where?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know what else.
I don't know either.
Comes up,
but that's a good solid place to start.
You want to eat pizza in bed? That's fine. If you want to, eat a sandwich, not so much because
anything that's crumbly,
right? Crumb stuff
that you can't do that, and anything that's also saucy, you can't. Don't eat a burrito in bed. Like that's crazy.
Oh, I'm okay if a burrito just don't nothing come out.
I guess if you got a nice plate going on, but yeah, if you've got a burrito that you can't hold it together, it's going to be a problem.
Don't make a mess in bed. Crackers are guaranteed to make a mess in bed. I don't know what else. What else makes a mess when you?
I don't know. I think those are the big ones.
Also, who these days is eating crackers at all?
Well, it depends. Does a wheat thin count?
It's a cracker.
It's a cracker. Yeah, then I do at least. I like wheat thins.
If you need advice on a cracker, talk to a cracker. Just right here, I got your back. Oh, I love me some Ritz. Oh, that's good stuff. Saltine if you're having soup. Yeah, I got the cracker info right here.
Got us all covered.
Got it covered. Let's see here. Big George says, "Oh, that is wonderful news. Wonderful news about the Major League Baseball incorporating these stats for the Negro League." Yep, we all would have loved to have seen Josh Gibson play, but that was a million years ago. I don't know if there's a whole lot of video of it, but if you get a chance, watch it. Let us know. I'd like to see it. Let's see. Ringless Joe says, Dan Campbell says, yeah, I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl. I don't know what the bust is.
Okay.
Phrasing, Dan.
I did see that quote, though.
Yeah.
Super Bowl or bust. And he's like, I don't even know what the word bust means.
Mm-hmm. Which also might be just an honest statement.
Yeah,
there's
could be.
A lot of words I think Dan Campbell may not know the meaning of.
It's distinctly possible. Like, I don't think maybe because he's big on slogans. That could be a slogan. It could just also be an admission of Dan Campbell and his vocabulary.
Hey, Dan, did they write you off and you didn't write back?
That's still one of the worst things I've ever heard. That's absolutely offensive to hear. Because you know that he was holding that one in his back pocket for if anyone ever asked him, and he thought he was so cool when he said that.
Yeah, should have said it out loud. Just workshop it.
Yeah,
to see.
Just try bounce it off a few friends and see how that goes.
Oily Stool says a lot of the WNBA games are on Ion TV, ION. The network that airs all the NCIS reruns. I never even heard of it. But if it's on the YouTube TV, I'll pull it up. I did a thing where I got all the channels I know I'd never watch, and I took them off of the thing so I wouldn't have to go through them. Ion TV might be one of those. I'll go find it. Thanks for the heads up, Oily Stool. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll finish up all your guys' texts here on the text line, plus other things. Oh, Scotty Scheffler. Yeah, we got to talk about that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
It doesn't get much better than having a job you love, working with people you love, children. And when you become a certified childcare provider, you can spend your days surrounded by your favorite people. Enjoy a fulfilling career caring for up to 4 children in your home. You'll get to run your own business, support children's development, provide parents with peace of mind, and make a difference in your community. Get certified to become a childcare provider at childcare.azccrr.com. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps looks like building lifetime change makers in Arizona communities. From serving children alongside First Things First to Executive Director of Prevent Child Abuse Arizona. From the Pinal County Sheriff's Office to the Governor's Office, serving with AmeriCorps today creates limitless potential for every new member to lead Arizona tomorrow. Where will AmeriCorps take you? Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Got a new texter on the text line. 3024 says, Keon plays great intro music after commercials. Well, he's got his turntables there and 2 turntables and a microphone.
Great song, but I can't take credit for that.
He's working it. He's working that music list. Quiet Cannon says, my cleaning lady told me the story about that one house she cleaned one time. She found out they had a habit of eating in bed. She couldn't take it. She could not handle that type of mess. I really thought that was it was going to go to a joke.
Yeah.
I just fell for the non-joke like Oily Stool.
But
he
also
expected a joke. There was no joke.
There was no joke. It's just upsetting. And that poor woman. You know how messy you have to be for the cleaning lady to just say, no, I will not clean this anymore?
Well, first off, what the hell? The cleaning lady, I don't think I should talk about it. Let's just say if someone's coming to clean, you make your bed. You make your bed.
Yeah.
You don't leave that to somebody else.
Like that should be all you.
Yeah, that's your space.
And God forbid she shows up and find crumbs in it. Like that's just come on.
Oh, you'll find worse things if you're not careful.
Yeah, I mean,
if I worked a cleaning crew, I'd be like, here's one thing I won't do. Okay, here's 9 things I won't do. To be honest,
give yourself a nice long list of things that you can say no to. Yeah.
Baker's cocky hen says only 2 things that should be eaten in bed. Oh yeah,
boy. Yeah. I know exactly where that's going. And can we say it on the air?
I think we all get the idea. Baker's cocky hens. Swazman says Jeffrey, that beekeeper that saved the Diamondbacks game last month, was interviewed on the news, and he said one of the toughest jobs is bed bugs. He says, I'm sure bed bugs like crackers too. Why do they call them bed bugs?
I guess because they're commonly found in beds. I mean, that's not
where
the
do you
only...
find cockroaches.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Just
okay, but that's more a mistake on the second one than the first one.
Big Jake says Cameron Brink just might win Rookie of the Year. It will be tough, grabbing it over Mrs. Clark. But as Keon said, she's a talking double-double. Blocks mad shots. Continues to get better on the offensive end with every game. Wow. There was not one thing in there about how she looked. Good for you, Big Jake.
This is growth.
Well done.
And yeah, I think she's in the lead for Rookie of the Year right now. She has to be. She's played the best out of everybody.
Yeah, but here comes Caitlin Clark. If she keeps putting up stats like that, then I mean, how long is the WNBA season? They've only played like 8 games, right?
Yeah, and it's I think it's 45 game season. It's somewhere in that range there.
That's all?
Yeah, it's a shorter season because they only have the summer to play, really, and so it's pretty condensed.
Huh. Yeah, they should. Yeah, that's right. All right. Beer Bob says the wifey and I eat crackers all the time. We love doing a nice little charcuterie board while we're watching a movie. Got to go with the simple Mills almond flour crackers. Makes it a little healthier.
In bed though?
Yeah, in bed, on the bed, or in the bed.
There's a
distinction.
Yeah, if you're sitting on the edge of the bed and you're eating.
No, if you're even sitting on the bed and the comforter is all the way up, then it's like, all right, you got crumbs on the
then you
outside.
can at least get that, and
you shake it off.
It's a good point.
But Beer Bob, charcuterie board. Well, see, that's all right because that's cheeses.
Yeah,
that's
you got
the
a whole
kind
lot
of
of things
crackers
going
that
on
maybe
there.
don't crumb up on you too bad. Still dangerous. Really, Slow-Mo, though? Potato chips are worse than crackers? I guess it depends on what potato chips you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm mostly, I don't know. I eat a lot of Lay's, a lot of the Cheetos, mostly chips that I can eat whole.
By the Lay's in that bed. I
see what you did there. Oh,
which kind of chips you like?
I
like straight up Lay's.
Yeah, the straight up Lay's. I also like the Cool Ranch Doritos.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, they've got these like it's like a combo nacho cheese and Cool Ranch that was actually not bad. I like that a lot.
Oh, by the way, I thought I found something great. I have the Ritz crackers, right? Well, the Ritz crackers now have like a baked cracker, so it kind of tastes like the Ritz. And I got some, and I was like, "Hey, these are really good." Well, holy God, they're salty.
Oh.
They're way too salty, like 200, too much salt. And I'm really bummed about that. And usually, I mean, I like a nice salty thing, but it was too much. So I want to try the regular Ritz baked cracker before I give up on it completely. But that was a little disappointing when like Doritos are almost too salty. At first, I thought that's a flavorful chip. And then I looked at it, I'm like, that's a salty ass chip.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
They're mistaking saltiness with flavor and hoping you won't notice.
Bad Fish says, I'm a pest control technician, and I second that. Bed bugs are the toughest pest to treat, but there are many conditions that can make it very difficult. Bad Fish, I got to tell you, we got a bunch of different pest guys on the text line. You'd be amazed how many guys are in your business listening to this show. I think that's cool. Big George says, I'm confused. Okay.
What about Big George?
What is allowed to be eaten in bed? Cookies, cake, chocolate? Try not to eat those things, but sometimes I can't resist.
I mean,
hey, it's your bed. You do what you want.
I just won't ever understand you, but that's fine. We don't have to understand everything about each other. But I would say the foods that make lots of crumbs. So I wouldn't say chocolate. Like, chocolate's probably fine.
God, I just realized in 10 years, my wife has never made me breakfast in bed. She does not want food in this bedroom. And I know it killed her during COVID when I was stuck in here for 2 weeks. I wasn't allowed to leave the room. And
and you had to eat in there.
She had to give me my food, and I'm sitting on the bed. I'm like, I'm eating in bed. And
she's outside the room seething.
Oh, I know. She's just like, I realized when it was time for me to come out of the room, she's like, just bundle up all the blankets and the sheets to strip the bed. I'm like, that wasn't even about COVID. That was about probably she didn't want to know what crap. But I was a good boy. I kept the crumbs out. I didn't. I ate good. On the bed, not in the bed. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
But Big George, you do you, man. I'm just saying. That's me. Hurry Harry says, I was in pest control for 15 years. See, there's another one. Good for you, man. Wiggin' My Piggy says, best chips ever right here. All right. So you sent me a picture of Bolzaza Rancheritos, El Mero Sabor Ranchero. Okay. Those look spicy. I've never seen those before in my life. Baker's Cocky Hen says, one of the greatest days ever was when he opened up a giant bag of Nacho Doritos and found a golf ball sized clump of Dorito dust. Why don't they sell that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Dude, what did you do with I would have put that in like you have those little glass cases for a baseball. I'd have put that in one of those and labeled it. Take, like date.
The legendary ball of Dorito dust.
Baker's like, no, we had to eat that thing. Did you eat that thing? Beer Bob says, hey, I didn't say in bed at all. I mean, we don't eat in bed. We don't even have a TV in the bedroom. Bedroom's for two things. Oh, well, you said you eat crackers all the time. And you made it sound like you were doing a security board in bed. Well, now, okay.
Yeah, we may have assumed. So that's our bad, I guess.
Moist One says,
oh, boy.
If you don't make a mess while eating in bed, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, well, you would say that.
That was just a nice subtlety.
Yeah,
right there.
He can do that sometimes. It's just not every time. You don't know with Moist One whether you're going to get a text that is pretty subtle, one that's just over the top. Dear Lord, why did you send that to anybody? Or a completely innocent and normal text, which also happens.
I get like 2 out of 3 texts I can actually read this.
that third one.
Yeah, that's the one that gets you fired. So, good news if you care. Scotty Scheffler is a free man. They have dropped the charges completely against him. Now, remember, there were criminal charges for that whole scuffle that he had with the cop. And boy, you hear this. Now you're thinking, yeah, that was not going to go well for Jefferson County. That was not going to go well. And Scheffler says, I have no ill will. Slow down, Scotty, because I saw another video where you hear the audio of you explaining yourself and talking to a cop. Scotty, you were wrong. You were wrong for the way you handled the situation, but the situation was also overblown by this doorknob that was trying to stop you. So there was enough wrong to go around. But, for everything that happened, hopefully Scotty Scheffler has learned his lesson, even if they're not a police officer, if they're working the security and they try to say, stop, do it, you need to still listen. And this other guy probably should not be a cop anymore. He probably should not be a police officer because he's got a history of being a bad. When I say a bad cop, I don't mean I'm a bad cop. I mean, I'm a bad cop. He's like one of those. And
well, I mean, he does have a history of turning off his body cam. That's
suspect.
Like, that's the most suspicious thing about him.
Right.
It's like, all right, there's a record with you. Yeah.
So they figured, well, we don't have a cam, we don't have a this, we don't have a that, and it ain't the big deal everybody thinks it was. So we just don't have time for this nonsense. I think that the Jefferson County, police department was going to look worse, or sheriff's department, whatever this guy was. It was going to look worse if this case actually went to any kind of a trial that then got publicized. They would look like a bunch of idiots. Scotty Scheffler would then start to look sympathetic. They were never going to win this.
They weren't going to win it. Their police department has been heavily scrutinized before.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been a whole thing. And the other issue is Scotty Scheffler's got a lot of money. So that, as long as it takes.
Yep. They'll bring back Cochran. All right. Brunswick guy says, no way. I work in pest control too. Oh, Canada has pests. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher with Josh Garcia of the Miracle Mile Deli. Josh, I want to thank you and your family for making such a huge difference over the last 75 years in the restaurant business in Arizona.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve generations of families like yours in the Valley over the last 7 decades, and we are extremely grateful to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2024 with a variety of different specials. So come on down to our Phoenix location at 16th Street in Campbell with your family and friends and celebrate with us. For more information, visit miraclemiledeli.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains from May 24th through June 3rd. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
Going to college and not acquiring debt is possible with the help of the U.S. Army. You'll be able to choose the career you want and receive help to pay for your full tuition. There are also reimbursements for student loans and GI Bill benefits. In the U.S. Army, your mission will be to learn. Learn how you can be all you can be at goarmy.com/AIA Sports. That's goarmy.com/AIA Sports.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White, but we got Keon Rose in the control room. We got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Just absolutely surprised to find out they need pest control in Canada. I just never even thought about that. You know, I figured the bugs would even go up that far north, you know. But, Brunswick guy says that he works in pest control right now. He says, here in Canada, if you live far enough north, there's no termites. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's too cold. He says the ground is too frozen throughout the year for termites to survive. So, fun fact, come live in Canada, avoid termites. He says, but we do have pests in Canada. They're called tourists from America. Ha, 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 ha.
So you're saying come to Canada because you don't have termites.
Blow the whistle on this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna get that done.
Blow the whistle on this guy. That's a 5-minute penalty, jackhole. We like you, Brunswick guy, but that sort of nonsense, that's getting you a 5-minute in the box. 5 minutes starting now, Brunswick guy. How do you like that?
But it also there was contradictory because he was saying come to Canada to avoid termites, but then the people who would most likely go to Canada, which would be tourists from America, are the pests. So what is your job, Brunswick
guy? We can ask him. Other Canadians, because he's in the box for 5 minutes.
That's a good point.
But do you really want Americans converting? You know what I'm saying? Because my sister, she converted to Catholicism, and that took classes, did all sorts of stuff. And then another friend, he converted to Judaism. He became Jewish because he wanted to marry this gal. And then I took classes and stuff. And I just, do you even want Americans converting to Canadianism?
Well, I just hope there aren't any classes.
We don't care if Canadians come and become American because we're like, well, we could always use another dork. But as far as Americans becoming Canadian, I don't think they're too thrilled about that prospect. Although I've been invited because, well, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien.
Naturally.
But I don't know if everyone's invited.
Good point.
Can't ask Brunswick guy. He's in the penalty box. Yeah. Ringless Joe says, sure, Canada has pests. They're called Canadians. There you go. Nice return volley, Ringless Joe. Officer Friendly is with us. He says, I had a feeling that cop in the Louisville Police Department was kind of shady. Those body cameras, while they can malfunction, they don't usually malfunction in a convenient fashion, like what happened here. I want to see those ruined $80 pair of pants, though. Yeah. That's the thing. And then, of course, later they came back and were like, well, it wasn't because of the car thing. Well, at least the lawyer said that.
Which is there's even more questions now because if that's not what ruined his pants, wait, what ruined his pants?
I want to bet he was just running and tripped and just scraped him up and says he drugged me. I don't know, but Officer Friendly, it's about the cam. Well, that's a bit suspect. That's like the third time I've used that term. Earlier, somebody typed in that something was sus, and I actually read the text and I didn't correct it. And in my head, I'm like, did I sound cool there? No, I didn't. No, I got to say suspect or suspicious. I can't just go, yo, that was sus. I hate what people are doing to the English language lately.
People have been doing this to the English language forever.
I know, but it's more lazy now. Little, isms and changes and slang, something that's clever. Then I'm like, all right, that's cool. But when it starts to just get lazy and you've just whittled the word down to its just bare minimum and still expect people to know what you're saying, that's starting to bug me.
I mean, I don't know. The word why used to be the word wherefore. It was just like, that's too long. And it almost sounds like you're asking where is something instead of why.
Sure. But see, why became a different word rather than whittled down because there was no why in wherefore.
Right. So but it wasn't like somebody said wherefore and then one day chose why. It became that slowly. So I don't know what sus is going to turn into over time.
There's not much left for sus to turn into. Suh. That was really suh.
Well,
that was There's
Words get shorter, but words get longer too.
is that how we're going to talk in 20 years?
I think words get shorter and longer over time. So no, I don't think that's where that's necessarily going.
We're talking emojis. I'm checking out.
Well, we might
out.
definitely. I mean, look, a work email 50 years from now might just be all emojis, and at that point, I don't know what to do. The written version of English is probably not going to make it with us, so just enjoy it while you can.
I just need society to sort of hang in there, maybe for 20, 30 more years.
We're just going to reinvent hieroglyphs. Okay, it was good enough for the Egyptians.
No more than 30 years.
We'll figure it out.
I just need this world to not completely implode until I'm out. That's all I'm asking. 20 years, 30 years. Give me 30. If you're really being kind, give me 40. So because my wife, she's probably going to live till she's 100. Like 40. No, I guess that would be 60. My wife is like, did you just say I was 60? I don't know. I don't do math well. I'm just saying.
Not on this show. None of us do math well.
For me, I'm 53. And in 30 years, I'd be 83. Let's be honest. If I live a day past 80, it's some sort of medical miracle. If I make it to 70, well, we're popping corks. So if society could just hang in for 30 years, I don't care what happens after that. Because I won't be here. What about your grandkids and your children? They'll be fine.
What, they'll still be here, and it'll be their mess to clean up.
Listen, I raised my kids pretty damn well, and they're uniquely qualified to handle whatever apocalypse comes next. Zombie, the post-apocalyptic, nuclear wasteland. If it's like Fallout, if it's like zombies, if it's like anything,
it's probably like Terminator.
They're going to survive. They're
the way we've
fine.
decided to AI everything.
Yeah, my kids can fight the machines. I'm not worried about them. They're going to be fine. I haven't even met my grandkids yet. I don't care about them bastards. So,
they're hypothetical people right now.
And I'm working on my kids too. You don't want kids. I made it clear. I'm not babysitting. You're not dropping your little snotty nosed, wet diapered crybabies off at my house. You can come for Thanksgiving. Keep them on a leash, and I don't mean figuratively. I mean literally. Literally keep those kids on a leash.
I mean, they sell those, so
I'll have some on hand.
The child leash is just at the door.
Oh, I got dog collars and harnesses. I will put a dog harness on a kid like that.
Well,
without even hesitation. If it fits, they're wearing it. I'm not kidding.
You're gonna have to stay in the house with that one.
I have made it very unattractive to my children to have children too early. That's for sure. I'm like, you make money, then have kids, because I'm not helping you. I'm not babysitting for you. I will visit and go, that's a cute baby. Take it back. I'm leaving. That's how that's going to go.
Yeah. My plan in my 20s was to, make some money first. And then, if I ended up with the right person, I'd have kids. And then what happened was all of my friends started having kids before me, and I'm all good. I
broke you of that notion, didn't it?
Yeah, I think I'll do the money part of that plan still, but the kid part of that plan is not happening.
Just saying.
Not intentionally, anyway.
I think I've got it. Gotten to all my children. So now I only need society to last long enough for me. The rest, they'll be fine.
Everybody else will figure it out.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, as a semi-normal grown man, I vow to never use an emoji or drink a frozen wine drink. Good for you, man. Good for you. No, that's good. That life choices right there. Good ones. Good ones. Well done. Rough Rob says, oh my God, they finally updated the Major League Baseball stats. Now everyone is included. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, man. Josh Gibson, look him up. And do they have video? I don't think they probably do. But if they do, by God, watch some. Ringless Joe says, Kyle Shanahan said, I want to get back to the point where we're up 10 points in the Super Bowl, and I want to finish the job. Doesn't Shanahan realize that getting there was the hard part? The easy part was supposed to be finishing the job when you had a 10-point lead. Why is he talking about?
I don't know.
Why are you randomly quoting Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, that seems weird. And also, it's hard to beat that guy that wears number 15 in Kansas City. Like a lot of teams try to stop him. It hasn't taken yet. So I don't know how much I can judge one coach when a bunch of other coaches have also failed to beat that dude in the playoffs.
Has it been 5 minutes for Brunswick guy yet?
I think so. Yeah.
He says, it was a joke, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just trying to make light of the situation. We love Americans. Come live up here. Only friendly Americans, though. No Kardashians, please. No, that's fair.
Well, first off, bad jokes get you in the penalty box. It's not the fact that you said Americans. It's specifically the joke was not funny.
No, for me it was Americans right there.
Okay, so for me, like I could forgive a lot if something is funny. That was not funny. So you got in the penalty box and now you're free. You're back out.
Oh man, I clicked on. Where did I click on here? Oh, here it is. Quiet Cannon says, "Hey Jeffrey, I do respect. Well done. What you see that little grandchild for the first time, it will steal your heart." Oh, I think that was a weirdly typed, but I'll reread that. Jeffrey, with all due respect, well done. What you see that little grandchild, I think what you're saying is I can say these things, but when I see my first grandchild, I'll be like, oh, no, I won't. I just won't. It already says that. Oh, when you see that first grandchild, your heart will melt. And then, you're going to be like wanting to spend all your time in it. No. I hear a baby cry and I cringe. I did my time. I changed many diapers. I stood there for hours. I did it. I'm done 3 times. 3. I'm done. I'm not kidding. I don't want any grandkids at the house past, say, 6:30 p.m.
I think that's fair. Kids are a lot, man. And all people try to do when they tell you, oh, you want kids, or in this case, want grandkids, is they hype you up on the cuteness of the kids as though you don't know that there's a clear and obvious downside to kids, which is they snot on everything, they pee on everything, they do
break things.
Yeah, look,
your favorite thing.
If there is a bodily fluid that kid can generate, it's just on stuff, and sometimes they don't explain things. They try to play with things that will actively hurt them. Children are a nightmare.
Yeah, and listen, until the kids are a little more coordinated, here's the way this is going to work. I will see my grandkids. I will love my grandkids. I'll spend time with them, but it's either going to be at your house or a neutral location. Because I know how kids work. I know what happens. Big George says, Jeffrey, you'll have more than 30 years on the celestial plane here. Your body may die, but your spirit will live on forever. Think of your grandkids and your children. No. So speaking of kids, it happened again. This high school announcer got fired because he's sitting there. I guess it's one of those things where they turn a camera on and then they thought the microphones were turned off. And it was some soccer game, and they're just sitting there cussing and just talking crap and talking about. He's like, I'll tell you what, I don't like these games, but the moms. And he starts checking out the ladies and bonus for calling high school soccer, girls soccer for high school. Oh, it's the soccer moms. F yeah, baby, up top, baby. Yeah, they're like high-fiving each other. See that one facing us? See if she can tear it the F off. Oh yeah. I can't see the legs, but I can feel the ass from here. All this is just going through.
Wow.
Well, so they fired him.
Naturally. As you should.
They call it announcer, but it didn't sound like it was really an announcer. You know what I mean? He's like, I apologize for everything I said. This does not represent. It totally does.
Yes,
you did it. You said it. That does represent
and you did it when you thought nobody could hear you. That is precisely what your character is what you do when you think nobody's looking.
So that's the end of this guy.
Which is,
he's like, let me tell you, it's beneath my dignity to call out high school players. I'm going to try to subtly do it, but I'm going to say this game blows.
Which, look, I think that honestly,
right.
that's the only normal thing that he said in that whole sequence of things. Is the game might suck. I have done play-by-play for not soccer, not high school soccer anyway, but for high school football, high school basketball. Some of the games are bad. High school softball, you're watching a game and it's 5-0 in the second inning, and it's not getting any better than that. You're just suffering through it. So I could understand saying that when you thought nobody was listening. All the other stuff you have to say about the soccer moms and stuff, man. Like, come on, can you just be normal about women just for 5 seconds? Is that possible?
Well, Toby Moore will not be heard on microphone again, saying the things that he said after that.
It's just for if you had aspirations of doing broadcasting beyond this, what a way to end your entire career.
Can I be honest? If you're doing a girls' soccer game, did you really get and I heard his voice.
Well, yeah, but you've just got to start where you can start. You get the work because it's competitive. You don't get out of college and then just go straight to calling college games or pro games. You start doing some very crappy details. You go and you do a lot of very low quality sports at very small high schools.
yeah. I mean,
which is why I'm not like a great play-by-play person, but also it's a bit of a grind. And when I found myself driving out to North Carolina somewhere, I was like, am I really doing this? And the answer was no. I left the play-by-play circuit behind.
He did a U-turn at the next intersection and went home.
Yeah.
Brunswick guy says, Jeffrey, why does your baby cry sound a lot like your complaining woman voice? Oh, wait, I got it. That's funny. Well, it's not intentional. Why you guys be always changing this thing over here? Why you never? You're right. I never realized that before. That is not intentional.
Yeah, that's a solid observation right there.
I will have to change one of those things up if my wife is listening. Rough Rob says they're disgusting in all stages of life. Yeah, even up to 18. Ringless Joe says the reason I bought up Shanahan is the 49ers, the betting favorite to win this year's Super Bowl. Again, we didn't say it. You didn't preface it.
Okay. You have decided you want to take the conversation there.
Ringless Joe's like, they haven't talked about the 49ers for 3 seconds. Thanks, Ringless Joe.
Good to know. Thank you. Appreciate it.
T-Licious says, I feel you about the kids, Jeffrey. My sister's twin turns 21 next week. I only want them to be younger because then I'm younger. But it'll be cool to finally buy him a drink. Okay. Oily Stool says, Keon, please tell me you don't consider this job to be low quality sports. He doesn't even consider this job to be sports.
Well, now hold on. No, it's not that. I would not say that. No. No, I don't consider that. I was talking about when I used to do play-by-play, and I would drive out to the middle of nowhere in North Carolina and South Georgia and just a bunch of other places, just trying to get some experience, doing it. And I finally got enough under my belt that I didn't have to drive so much all the time after that. But yeah, I'm talking about broadcasting at tiny high schools for, not really any money, just to have the experience of doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
So I'm actually wearing my shirt that I wore when I worked with the Ottawa High School Owls back in Chattanooga.
I don't know if I've heard you do the play-by-play, but I can picture you doing it.
Yeah, I think basketball is my best sport. I'm terrible
You
at
want to be
baseball.
the color commentator, or do you want to like how I didn't say color guy? Do you want to be the color?
I didn't even catch that, but no, I'm glad
you
you
want to
did.
be you want to be the color commentator or the lead guy?
I like being the lead guy because
Okay.
mostly I did a bunch of games by myself, so I ended up doing both anyway. But if you can't do the lead guy part, then if you're by yourself, if you can, whether or not you
Keon's
can do
like,
colors,
I can do both
I had to
at the same time.
I had to. I had no choice.
Swazman says, Dion, have you ever accidentally or on purpose said anything on air that you regret? He says, I bet not. You seem like a pretty normal person.
Have I ever said anything on air that I regret? I mean, outside of times I've just been insanely wrong. No, not really.
Okay, well, that can be what you
Yeah.
regret is the times
Yeah.
you've been in error.
where I thought something, where I thought I knew something, and then maybe I was just I didn't fact check it correctly or whatever. Yeah, I don't like misinforming people, but
Come to think of it, I don't think I regret anything I've said on the air. Trying to think, there was no incidences where I was really in trouble. Some people didn't like what I've said.
but that's not the same thing as you were. Yeah.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't know. Keon's pretty careful. I don't know. Have you ever sworn on air?
No.
I've slipped like once. One
Yeah,
time.
everybody slips at least once. I'm
and
sure my
barely.
time is going to be there eventually. Just it has not happened yet.
Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hen says, kids are a lot. That is an understatement. He says, but I choose to spend every night at the park with my 4-year-old daughter and miss most sporting events and get to run around like I'm still a kid. So to each their own. Oh, yeah. That's good for you, man.
I'm happy for you, man. Like if you have kids and you love them, like keep doing that. We need more parents like that.
Listen, I spent my time with my kids. I don't need to spend time with their kids.
They should
I'm
spend
done.
time with their kids.
Oh my God. Because listen, the first thing that comes to mind in the spending time with kids is the time that I was taking my kids for a drive, and we had lunch, got in the car, we drove about 20 feet, and my son decided, well, this is the time I'm going to throw up. And he had just eaten peanut butter and jelly, and he basically put his head up like that. A fountain of peanut butter colored goo just went up and over the back of his head, completely all over the car seat, him and everything else. He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator when he was all in the mud. I'm like,
oh my God,
what the hell? You know how long that took me to clean? Oh my
I
God.
can only imagine.
So yeah, I mean, I spent my time with my kids. I still do. But when they have their kids, we're going to run a clock on that. Baker's Cocky Sins says, well, what about the ones I don't love? Oh yeah, we just, don't bother them.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go. Jonesy says, well, Jeffrey, I did get you to say a certain thing a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that's right. I do regret that. That'd be the one. The saying that U Arizona has.
Oh, gotcha.
He did get me to do that. I regret that.
I actually forgot that happened.
Like I just blocked it out of my memory. Now I have regrets. Thanks, Jonesy. Appreciate it. All right, we got to move on to some other things. Let's take a break and come back. We got football to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Olympic Games in Paris open July 26. The United States, the favorite to win the most medals at minus 2,500. China, the second choice, 11-1. To win the most gold medals, the United States minus 700. China 4-1. France 65-1. NCAA tournament bids go out today for college baseball. That's an SEC Invitational atop the betting board. Tennessee the favorite to win the College World Series at 5-1. Texas A&M 6-1. Arkansas 8-1. LSU 9-1. And Kentucky 10-1. The top non-SEC school on the board, Wake Forest at 11-1. Clemson is at 13-1. For your free VSiN subscription, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett from VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains from May 24th through June 3rd. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353 or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps in Arizona looks like more than 27,000 members, 29 million hours served, nearly 75 million in scholarships, millions of lives changed. When you sign up for AmeriCorps in Arizona, you make a difference. Also, earn a living stipend, plus education scholarships. Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. That's serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, T-Bone Nest. Did that high school guy get to do a Tom Brenneman farewell call? Oh, there's like, I really apologize for, and there's a shot on goal. My really reprehensible behavior here.
Castellanos fields a second out. Every time I see Castellanos, I think of that guy.
Yep. Nope. They shut that kid down forever. So, yeah. Baker's Cocky Hens, thank you for that. Swazman says, I got to say, as a former substitute, well, now we have to wait and find out what the hell substitute he is, because he's a substitute teacher. He says all your kids are crazy. Sure,
not my kids.
Prison Wallet, yeah, all kids are crazy. Prison Wallet says you may not regret having said anything on air, but I often regret listening.
Hey, fair's fair.
I don't blame you. Do not blame you at all. Pierre says, I say, who is this guy from Wiesen? I think he is. Our odds are 65-1 for the great country of France to finish with their most medals. They should have at least the best chance since my proud home country is hosting. Too bad, Mike. I think that, what do you mean? I mean, that's good odds. Look, they're saying the France is going to do really well. I don't understand what your problem is here. Well, what is this problem?
I'm not sure.
What's your problem, Pierre?
You're going to have to explain some stuff, man.
Commando Duke says, well, this must be a guy you guys picked up when I was out. I don't remember Commando Duke. Do I remember Commando Duke?
I thought Commando Duke's been around for a while.
Well, he's been around even longer. That's right. Commando Duke says, when it comes to calling soccer games, honestly, all of us on this side of the pond could learn a thing or two from European and South American commentators. When watching the World Cup or so, I listen to Spanish commentators that I don't even understand. They make a boring game all that more interesting. Yeah, absolutely. I still wish I knew Spanish. Because then I could watch the Spanish version of NFL games. I don't want to listen to Joe Buck, and that would be great because I've turned it on. I've heard it. It's way more exciting. I mean, they're going to make a punt. Like, oh my God,
that's the greatest punt you've ever heard in your life.
You're right, Commando Duke. You're absolutely right. Also, I feel like there's a lot of good TV I'm missing. In the Spanish channels.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Maybe it's horrible for whatever I know. But yeah, you're right, Commando Duke. By the way, I mean, we want to talk football. I don't know if this really counts, but yesterday we talked about Mark Davis and that gal. What was her name? I can't remember her name. Hayden Hopkins. And they had said, oh my God, she's knocked up. That means Mark Davis is the father. And then she posted up and she's like, no. This is ruining it for me. And me and Joey are expecting. We can't wait. And we on the air yesterday. We're like, well, who the hell's this Joey? How many Joeys do we even know? And I think, I didn't even think about this. You have a Joey right under your nose, Keon.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is the father of the baby.
It didn't occur to me. He did not come to mind.
You had a Joey.
We had a Joey. I didn't even think about it.
He is the Joey.
And he's the guy.
All right. When they say she's a professional dancer, what does that mean?
I don't know. And the only sites that are really pulling this up on are like the Daily Mail and TMZ and the New York Post, where I just don't trust everything that I see there. So I have no idea what they mean by that.
Is she like? Remember, J-Lo was one of the gals on In Living Color. One of them, the Fly Girls. Remember that? And she was a professional dancer, right? And then there's the Rockettes, and then there's I really don't know. There's play on Broadway, and in I don't know where else there's professional dancers, ballet dancers, that kind of thing. Which kind is she?
I have no clue.
Or is she?
My guess is not ballet.
Let's welcome Cinnamon to the stage. Is she that kind of professional dancer?
I don't know. It's none of these stories are clear on it, and I think that they're going to leave that open ended because they know you're going to jump to a conclusion.
Moist one says, "I'm a private dancer, a dancer for money. Any old music will do." Okay, Tina. Swazman says, when I was a ski instructor, wait, 3 seconds ago, you were a substitute teacher.
She's a Cirque du Soleil dancer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So she's like hanging on them rings and spinning around by like they like attach her hair to it or something. And she, well, that means she's like a legit professional dancer. That's cool.
Yeah.
Swazvan says, when I was a ski instructor at Mount Snow in East Dover, Vermont, there was a certain guest from New Jersey called a Joey. It was someone with a Trans Am and bald tires and jeans coming to our mountain to ski or snowboard with absolutely no sense of mountain or winter etiquette. Oh, so you called that a Joey. Well, that's fun.
Learned a new thing.
That's funny. All right, I promised football. We better talk about football before the show is over. I got my football right here. Oh, by the way, one of the things you're like, hey, Jeffrey, may I call you Jeffrey? No, and don't make eye contact. Anyway, I know. Why do you carry Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football on 1580 The Fanatic? Well, because the ratings. That's why. Because everybody loves the Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. And if you're not home yet, we've got it here for you, because we know if you get home, you're going to turn on the damn TV. Or if you're working or something's going on, if you're in your car, we're here for you. We got it. And when I say ratings, trust me, ratings are good. Take a look at Sunday Night Football, the most watched series on television this season. In the top 10 most watched series, average viewership, 19.4 million for Sunday Night Football. Wow. The number 2 most watched series, Monday Night Football, with 11.9 million. The third most watched series, Thursday Night Football, 11.97 million. Thursday night and Monday night, just about identical. Number 4, what do you think it is? Well, it's Tracker on CBS. That show about the guy who finds people.
Oh, well, how about that?
But number 5, guess what that is? It's NCIS. Seriously, CBS is just killing it.
Yeah, no, they've got the whole crime procedural thing locked down.
Yeah, CBS is the number 1 station right now, although they got the worst football show Sunday morning. Of course, they've shaken that up. They fired the Boomer and the Phil, and then they've got other guys coming in, so we'll see about that. But, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, 1, 2, and 3 in the ratings for the season. So now the 23-24 TV season is over, and now the 24-25 begins, and yeah, I would put my money on football, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's always the most popular show on whatever network happens to have it. So the football's not losing anytime soon, and that's why they're trying to see if they can do Christmas games and all these other things. It wins.
Mm-hmm.
There's no competition for it.
Moist One says, imagine a Cirque du Soleil baby in the womb. Kicking, doing flips, spinning around. Yeah, that's got to be an annoying kid right there. I don't know what you're thinking. 2 athletes, basically, she's athletic, he's an athlete. I would say that she is probably more an athlete than a baseball player. Let's be honest. But yeah, that's gonna be an active baby for sure.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hens has an update for us. He says Mercury up by 1 in the 4th. They get streaky from 3 and get back in these games sometimes. All right, well, cool. Keep us up to date. I don't have it on my screen here, so you can tell us if you want.
66-65, Mercury over the Liberty.
Some Phoenix team is going to do well. Okay, so I don't know how much I want to talk about Brandon McManus today, because this whole thing is turned into a thing, but I do want to bring something up. One of the things I had asked, in these stories is, okay, had they made any kind of a complaint? Had they called the police? Or turns out they did. Turns out they did at least complain to the company that runs stuff. So they did report this to Atlas Air, the company who is doing the charter flight. So now, this is just going to be lawyers going after lawyers and the depositions and craziness and all these things. But the other thing that came up, now I don't know how much you trust the U.S. Sun. I feel like that's a weekly world news or an Inquirer type of site, like 7 steps below TMZ. But according to them, an unnamed member of the Jaguars told them they saw the incident and said, yeah, that kicker was out of order and crossed the line and had some things to say. But then I don't know how much I trust that. But if it's true and there were witnesses, will they cross that football line? Will they, I didn't see anything? Or will they no, this kicker was actually doing bad things on this flight. And then there's the other thing. If these 2 stewardesses are correct, then somebody was being served alcohol. And according to the NFL regulations, you're not supposed to have that on these chartered NFL flights. So there's a lot going on here. It's going to get messy, but it's starting to look more credible that Brandon McManus did some stuff. I don't think I want to read the stuff he did, but he was basically grinding on these gals with certain parts of him fully detention. That's how I'm going to say it.
Yeah,
And
I think it's the best way to get around that. Yeah.
And as I've read the complaint, paragraphs 16 through 26, these allegations are pretty serious.
Pretty
actually,
serious, yeah.
And they have every reason in the world to not just sue Brandon McManus if these things are legit. Suing the Jaguars as well, because there's plenty of people on that plane that were Brandon McManus's bosses that should have been doing more to keep stuff like this in check. So again, this could all be made up, but it's starting to seem like maybe not. Maybe not. So again, we still need more information, but now the needle is starting to put kind of in the other direction towards Brandon McManus being a guy that probably needs to stop getting to play football, I think.
Yeah, it's a privilege. It's not a right. And the attorney, by the way, representing those women is Tony Busby, who represented the women who went against Deshaun Watson as well.
They didn't seek him out just because he did that, because the two ladies that this is about live in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, which is where he's located.
Right. So he's
got the biggest law firm that handles those cases. So it's just unfortunate for Brandon McManus because Tony Busby is really good at what he does. And I just the way that he had things set up to go after Deshaun Watson and they were able to get him to settle that out of court. I don't think that Brandon McManus is going to do very well.
Lawyers don't take cases. The good ones don't take cases they can't win. They don't like to lose. And so if he's taking this case, he really feels like this is one he can win. And so, whatever the case is, as far as who can win this, who can lose that, I only care about the facts. And if Brandon McManus did a thing, he needs to go bye-bye. And whatever consequences that come from that, that's what he deserves. So, but if he's innocent, well, he deserves to be exonerated as well. All I'm saying is, from what I've read and what people are saying, I mean, they did try to complain to Atlas Air back before. So if you were looking for this to be just a couple of gold diggers, I don't think that's what this is. Anyway, we'll find out more as I'm sure the days go by. We got to take a break. We come back. We've got On This Date and big Georgia sports history and other stuff. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains from May 24th through June 3rd. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm here to tell you about a technological shocker. Believe it or not, you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
That's shocking.
Wow. What a world we live in. All you have to do is say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Okay, so Kurt Warner, somebody's like, hey, how about this Aaron Rodgers? Greatest quarterback ever? Is he one of them? He's like, no. They're like, what? Yeah, Kurt Warner had to explain why he thinks Aaron Rodgers is not the greatest quarterback ever. I don't know that there's a lot of people who are going to say he's the greatest quarterback ever, but Kurt Warner is like, no, he's not in the debate yet. He says Aaron is one of the best quarterbacks our league's ever seen, but he doesn't get into the greatest conversation until he gets another Super Bowl. Having him switch teams, having him come back at 40 years old from an Achilles tear, the New York Jets, who have never won, and this could be maybe set Aaron in a kind of a different category, kind of what I was able to do with Arizona that elevated me back to a different status than it would have been. And I had a great success with St. Louis. It's a good point. Kurt Warner won with the Rams and went to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals. Didn't win with the Cardinals, but Kurt Warner is saying that he's a great quarterback, this Aaron Rodgers, but he's not in the greatest ever debate yet. What do you think of that?
Well, it just depends on how you're measuring it. Like if you're counting, because rings factor into it, but I just in a team game. I've seen great quarterbacks get stuck on teams that just don't do anything and don't go anywhere. And it just for the longest time, the Packers just refused to draft a receiver to give the guy so that he could have more weapons. It's not like he didn't have great weapons over his time in Green Bay, but like when they really needed it in that window where he was winning MVPs and stuff, that was the time to start putting some talent there. And they didn't wind up doing it. I don't know, because to me, if you just ask me, the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in my life is Dan Marino. But I'm talking more from the technical aspect of how he played the game. There just aren't people who can play it like that. The pocket presence, the awareness, the way that he had the big arm and the accuracy. The guy was ahead of his time, but he didn't win any championships. So do we hold that against him or what? When I think about talking about greatness, I'm kind of beyond putting rings in the conversation, if for no other reason than it's just not as interesting. You just end up going in circles about it of, well, this person's got one more ring, but it's like, yeah, if I had to choose a guy to put on my team, last drive of a game, and I can choose any quarterback all time, the short list includes Aaron Rodgers.
I think Kurt Warner might be looking at Aaron Rodgers as he sees himself. Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame quarterback. He has one Super Bowl ring, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah. Just one with the Rams. Went with the Cardinals, didn't get it. So maybe when he says kind of what I was able to do with Arizona that elevated me back to a different status than I would have been had I just only had success with St. Louis. does Kurt Warner see himself in the greatest quarterback ever debate, or is he saying I'm not there and neither is Aaron Rodgers? We're over here in a different category.
He's just
I think
using,
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I think he's just using himself as an example because in the middle of Kurt Warner's career, there was a down streak of it where, you know, he had the success in St. Louis, but I remember Kurt Warner playing with the Giants and it was not good. It looked like, okay, the magic has kind of faded off and Kurt Warner has come back to earth. And then by going to Arizona and getting to the Super Bowl, it's like, oh, no, he still has that greatness there. So I think he's just saying in a similar way, if Aaron were able to get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, that would put him in that conversation with, the other greats.
Taco Kenny says, Dan Marino turned into David Hasselhoff. Oh, he's a great quarterback. I have no idea what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
How you doing, Taco Kenny?
The Hoff, huh?
Well, yeah. So I think first I saw that I'm like, was Kurt? Do you think you're one of the greatest quarterbacks ever? I don't think he does.
No,
I don't
I
think
he's saying that by getting to a Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl late in your career, it elevates you from whatever status you were at back to, in his case, back to where he was before, which was, oh, this guy's going to have a Hall of Fame career. Wait, hold on, maybe he won't. And then the Arizona, Super Bowl run got him back into that Hall of Fame conversation.
All right. Well, you know what? It all checks out to me. And, of course, we love Kurt Warner. We think he's amazing. A big fan of Kurt Warner's. Always have been, always will be. Just want a little clarification. That's all.
Yeah.
You want to hear the worst thing you're going to hear today?
We can go for it.
I mean, I don't know what you've heard on this show today, but this might be the worst thing you've heard today. But here it is. I'll just read the headline. Packers Tucker Kraft says his pectoral muscle, quote, popped right off the bone, unquote, while bench pressing. Boop. Just came right off. He said it was a regular lift. Last rep of the day on the bench. Nothing crazy. Not even heavy weight. We were speed benching and it just popped off the bone.
So I will be reminded now to strike speed benching from the list of things that I do. So not that that was ever on the list.
Yeah.
But that's I don't know how you come back to play football after that.
Well, he's hoping to get back but before the season starts.
What?
Well, he's in shape. All he's got to do is let that thing rest and get back to practice.
I guess how long does it take before it reattaches itself back to the bone that it was torn clean off of?
You should look that up. I have no idea. Swazman says, remember, Kurt Warner was let go from New York when they drafted Eli Manning. Well, no, he was the backup.
Well, yeah, he was the backup for Eli, because I remember I was listening to a story that Kurt said, Eli was playing and then Eli was having a bad game and they benched Eli for him. He goes out, he actually brings the team back, they win the game, but then he went to the coaches and said, you're going to kill his confidence. Don't ever bench him like that again. You just embarrassed him.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I know Kurt Warner was playing on the team at the same time as Eli.
Right. Yeah. Glendale Mullet says, my greatest quarterback of all time, Deshaun Watson for us. Off the field service. Shut up, Glendale Mullet.
You know what? The penalty
you waited
box,
27 days to to text garbage like that. What's wrong with you?
It should ban you for another 27 days, but we won't remember.
I thought the pec tearing was the worst thing you'd hear on the show.
I thought so too.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1953, Sir Edmund Percival Hillary, 34-year-old beekeeper and mountaineer from New Zealand. Okay, this is not sports. It's not sports. Sorry, just stop the music. Just stop the music. George, it's, listen, the first guy to ever get to the top of Mount Everest is impressive, but we've already established mountain climbing is not a sport. It's just not. It's a cool achievement. Although, let's be honest. Okay, so he's like, look at me, 34-year-old beekeeper. I got to the top of the Hey, we had a beekeeper the other day that got a bobblehead for clearing the bees out of Chase Field. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But back to this guy. So you're like, wow, he climbed it. Yes, along with Nepalese Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. They were the first ones ever to summit Mount Everest. Okay, that's great. That's great. Except for, got a little help. 362 porters. That's guys carrying bags. So yeah, he had 362 bellhops.
Okay.
20 other Sherpa guides, and he was up there. He was going up there like my wife with 10,000 pounds of baggage. My wife, she travels away to like a giant
some people
50-pound bag.
travel heavy. Some people travel light. Some people travel heavy.
Took them 80 days. So 384 people.
And only one guy gets the credit for getting there.
I did it. I did it.
And if you need a Sherpa to guide you up the mountain, were you the first person up the mountain?
And really, I don't need a Sherpa to say up. You just go up.
Well, the thing is, Mount Everest is crazy because it's got all these wild gaps in it. Like people have died climbing Mount Everest because they fall into these gaps, and there is no way to get you out.
Yeah,
you're done if that happens. Like they make a little bridge with the ladder thing. I don't know what it's called.
I'm less impressed when 380 people help you get up.
Well, yeah, because one of the guys probably got up there more impressively on account of he was carrying all of your stuff. Why doesn't that guy get a little bit more credit?
I was first up there. Then why is that photo of you pointed downwards at you? Oh, don't worry about that. Anyway, that's not sports, George. Mountain climbing's not sports.
Impressive.
Also, his name is Sir Edmund Percival Hillary. Yeah. I don't have time for that now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll maybe see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth